News is next, presented by Capital Tire Service in downtown Cleveland.
Fox News, I'm CJ Pop. At least 55 confirmed dead, tens of thousands homeless, 1,000 more considered missing from the wind-fueled wildfires burning the west side of Maui to the ground.
The historic town of Lahaina into a scorched shell. As of today, firefighters have contained 80% of the fire burning there, but others continue to burn across Maui and the Big Island.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff reporting. Former President Donald Trump's attorney squaring off today against special counsel Jack Smith's team in a Washington, D.C. courtroom over what he can say about the criminal case related to January 6 and efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Republican presidential hopefuls flocked to the Iowa State Fair today. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, former VP Mike Pence, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez take part in a so-called fair side chat this morning with the Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds. America is listening to Fox News.
The news is sponsored by Lee University, where you can expect something great.
At Southern Heritage Bank,
There are a lot of banks, so what makes Southern Heritage Bank unique? It's our commitment to being unbelievably good as we identify and meet your needs. Stop by one of our 5 locations in Cleveland or Chattanooga and let us show you the difference our customers have come to expect. We strive to offer the latest banking technology, mobile wallet, online account opening, mobile banking with bill pay, and ATMs that allow cash or check deposit. All available 24/7 with a local community bank. Southern Heritage Bank, a division of First Citizens National Bank, member FDIC.
That's Logan Thompson Law at LoganThompsonLaw.com. We are Mix 104.1. Good morning. We are on Mix 104.1. We're on Talk 101.3 The Buzz. We're on, there we are, on MixTV.tv. And we're on your phone, your mobile devices through the free Mix 104.1 app. Download for free. Free thanks to CHI Memorial at mymix1041.com. As I said a moment ago, it's a very special morning. This is our high school football kickoff show, and we do this every year, supplied by Wholesale Supply Group, sponsored in part by Hardee's. And we're going to have the teams coming up, the coaches coming up, and then Bob Kesling here next hour, his annual visit to Cleveland and our studios. WDEF television reported Thursday the Ocoee Whitewater Center is now asking for the public's input on the rebuilding of the site destroyed by fire a little more than a year ago. They announced their proposed timeline for the center. The Ocoee Whitewater Center is asking Polk County citizens and Ocoee visitors to fill out an online survey giving their input on the reconstruction. Back in April, the Cherokee National Forest announced their plans to receive public input. Survey is open until Labor Day. You can take the survey. Go to reimaginetheowc.org. That's reimaginetheowc.org. As of Thursday, they'd already received about 3,000 survey responses. Bradley County Board of Education meeting last night. Agenda was light, but board members heard from Cope Architecture, currently conducting a capacity study for the school system. While the final report's not complete, the discussion last night focused on explaining the process, the remaining steps yet to be completed, and what the board can expect in terms of a planning timeline. The firm has met with the principals of each school and the officials with the city to get an understanding of growth patterns and future developments. Also, the board and school system hopes that this study will help them better prepare short and long-term strategies for school capacity issues. Director of Schools, Dr. Linda Cash, told the board she believes that each Bradley County school will need capital investment in the next 10 years. She hopes this study will aid in the planning and prioritization of issues like that. Cope Architecture hopes to have new information completed for the Bradley County Board of Education by their September meeting. We have a little more than a week left before the state's General Assembly convenes for a special session called by Governor Bill Lee. The first bill submitted yesterday for consideration. WTVC Channel 9 reports House Majority Leader William Lamberth filed 3 of the first 4 bills of the special session, which officially begins on August 21st. One bill requires each school, public or private, to develop a policy to direct how students and staff are to respond when a fire alarm is activated on school premises. The Covenant school shooter in Nashville pulled the fire alarm to lure students and teachers out of their classrooms. Another bill, as introduced, expands the eligibility for filing a petition to obtain a lifetime order of protection to include victims of aggravated stalking. And a bill that was filed yesterday requires the court or chief officer of a mental health facility that orders the release of a person from a mental health facility to notify law enforcement that they transported the person to the mental facility of the person's release. And it's a big night tonight. A couple of big things happening. Tonight is the big Friends of the Library fundraiser at Cleveland State Community College. It is a theater, a play, a presentation been doing the last several years. Great cast and a lot of people you'll recognize. That is tonight at Cleveland State Community College, the Friends of the Library fundraiser. You can get tickets there at the door at the Cleveland State Auditorium. And then tomorrow, Bridget, hard to believe, is our Mix 104.1 Great Cleveland Duck Race presented by Don Ledford Automotive Center. Hey, this is the last day to get ducks. What do people need to know?
That's right. You need to call or text us 614-6499. Call us on the Volunteer Ritipest Mix line or text us on the Sell with Darren text line. Again, our number 614-6499. If you haven't won your rubber duck yet, you can do that today by calling or texting us. And then you have to pick that up at Don Ledford Cleveland on North Lee Highway by 5 o'clock this evening.
All right, so, yes, you need to do that. Dwayne Williams live at Don Ledford this afternoon. That is also where he's going to announce the favorite school poll winner. Remember, Medical Center, Compounding Pharmacy, and Health Center giving $500 to the school that gets the most votes. Your deadline is 5 o'clock. I had a few principals text me yesterday afternoon. Want to make sure the deadline, it's 5 o'clock today. $500 for your favorite school, but I think the bragging rights are always even more important.
Oh, yeah.
So you can also vote for your favorite school. Text the Sell with Darren Miller text line at EXP Real Estate, sellwithdarren.com, by the way. Put your name on it, folks, for your vote to count. You got to put your name on it. That's also your entry when you, because we're going to give away also a sports pass. You and basically three other people can get into any high school athletic event this school year, both systems, Bradley, Cleveland, Walker Valley. I have never heard anything like it, especially both systems.
Even Dr. Dyer said he doesn't have a pass like that.
Well, that's true. And nor will he get one from Dr. Cash in the county. Don't even ask. All right, so we're taking calls and texts. Call the Volunteer Ritipest Mix line. Busy morning. 423-614-6499. Let's check the streets.
Okay, this Don Ledford Cleveland Mixed Highway Patrol report is brought to you by Don Ledford in Cleveland. It's time to close out summer and start the fall right by saving big on a Don Ledford pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. With over 100 cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock, they'll have something for you right now with new arrivals daily. That's at Don Ledford Cleveland on North Lee Highway. We have no reports of any accidents this morning, but we did receive a call from our great listener, Brian Trotter, who is headed to Chattanooga this morning. There's a pretty heavy rain shower that is kind of headed straight up the interstate toward us here in Cleveland. So he said it is reducing visibility there on the interstate. So if you are planning to travel I-75 headed south, be aware of that rain shower that is headed toward the Cleveland area at this time. We'll be sure to keep you up to date. If you see a traffic problem, give us a call. The Volunteer Ritipest Mix line is 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Sell with Darren text line. That's Darren Miller, eXp Realty. This traffic report is brought to you by Waste Connections of Cleveland. Waste Connections introduces efficient, state-of-the-art automated curbside service. Find out more by visiting wasteconnections.com/ClevelandTN.
Hey, is Nicole here from Hardee's yet?
I do not know.
Well, page her. Is Nicole here? Send her on in. We want to talk about what's happening at Hardee's. Bridget, this morning's broadcast is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. but sponsored by, there she is, sponsored by Hardee's. Marketing Director Nicole Morsehead joins us, and it's been a long tradition, Nicole, that Hardee's provides breakfast this morning. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. We've been looking forward to this for weeks.
Well, I know Julia has the countdown clock all year.
She does.
So it's,
she does. You're right.
Very nice. Well, Nicole, how are things going at Hardee's? What's happening?
Things are great. You know, we always have something new going on. We've got some exciting things coming up next month that I'll be excited to share coming up soon. But
If you're invited.
if I'm invited. Bridget already invited me. It's actually not up to you.
You want me to bring some things up or not about Bridget? Man, you know,
And I just noticed you guys were matching today. How cute.
Oh, I know. We're all UT fans here. I guarantee you. We do anything for Kesling. Kesling's on the interstate right now.
Yes.
Coming from Knoxville. So how's the new menu going? The new items?
It's good. It's good. Everything looks really good. Sales are great. We've had just so much going on, and like I said, remodels are going on. We have a million things going on, but the new menu is good. Like I said, as far as the new menu, we've got some exciting things coming up. An exciting partnership we have coming up next month that I'm excited to roll out. So we'll see some tasty things coming.
You're not teasing Barbie with your jacket, are you? Is that
maybe? No.
Anyway.
No.
Hey, listen. In all seriousness, you know the founder of Hardee's locally, George Johnson, who brought Hardee's here, Julie and Mark's dad, and education was always important to him, and I think it's just so appropriate when you think of Hardee's and the communities that you serve. You're always involved with the schools, and you're always involved with athletics.
We are, and all throughout the year, and especially, you know, this is such an exciting time of year. Everyone loves football, and just getting into this and being able to be a part of the kickoff for the season, especially after being at that Rotary meeting the other day, listening to all the exciting things that are coming up. We're excited to kick off with you guys today for this.
All right, Nicole, thank you so much. Thanks for bringing breakfast this morning, and
of course,
we're going to get these teams in here. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
All right, speaking of which, it's Hardee's.
Hardee's 2 for $5 mix. Hardee's double deals pack double the charbroiled beef and melty cheese. Choose a double cheeseburger or bacon double cheeseburger starting at $2.99. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
Hey, who doesn't love a great deal?
We all do, right? It's great to save money. We here at Mermaid know what you need, and it's a good night's sleep. And right now you can get it for less at our clearance center. You can save up to 50% on Tempur-Pedic, Serta, Nectar, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, and many more. You can get an adjustable base for as little as $199, or assorted headboards for only $99 each.
But only at Mermaid Mattress.
Your sleep handmade, hand-delivered.
Mayfield Dairy, celebrating 100 years of the iconic Mayfield ice cream at MayfieldDairy.com, proudly headquartered in Athens, Tennessee.
Mix 1041 is celebrating 30 years of being on air. We are celebrating by giving away 30 prizes over 30 weeks. Presented by TVFCU Mortgage. Register today at mymix1041.com.
We're here at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland.
We are here with great service.
We're here.
We're here.
We're here.
We're here with great deals.
We're here for you. So come get huge Nissan savings when you shop Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland and Cleveland-Nissan today. Home of the exclusive lifetime warranty.
A name and brand that you can trust. Wholesale Supply has been serving the Southeast for over 75 years. Whether you need plumbing, electrical, or HVAC supplies, Wholesale Supply can provide you with the products that you need to complete any job, big or small. Supplying brands such as Kohler, Delta, Rinnai, Progress Lighting, and so many more. With 32 locations across the Southeast, Wholesale Supply is your hometown plumbing, electrical, and HVAC supplier. To find a location near you, visit wholesalesupply.us. And remember, Wholesale Supply is open Monday through Friday and open to the public.
You'll figure it out.
Happy birthday, Adam. Also, Coach Amy McGowan is celebrating a birthday tomorrow, the volleyball coach at Cleveland High School.
State champion, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
There you go, Coach Tiger. There we go.
Victor Walker is celebrating on Sunday. Andrew Morgan is having a birthday tomorrow.
Judge Morgan.
Judge Andrew Morgan, yes.
His honor, excuse me.
Carla Watson celebrating a birthday today at Baines Business Machines, and they just opened a new location in Athens as well. Happy birthday to her. Tammy Stubblefield is having a birthday today. The birthday wish says, wishing my wonderful wife the happiest birthday ever. Debbie Williams is celebrating tomorrow. Deborah Henry is having a birthday today. The birthday wish says, an amazing mom and grandma. Missy Welch is celebrating tomorrow. Her husband Brian sent that in to us. He says he definitely married up, and happy birthday to his beautiful wife today. She's a 5th grade teacher at Michigan Avenue. And then Jeff and April Salyer, they are celebrating their 23rd wedding anniversary tomorrow. Calling your birthdays and wedding anniversaries to us. We'll take those for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. The volunteer Ritapest mix line is 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Sell with Darren text line. Darren Miller, eXp Realty. Go to our website, mymix1041.com, or download our free Mix 1041 app. It's the Simmons Bank celebration list. At Simmons Bank, they are with you every step of the way. Call Ken Do at 423-381-3427.
This Mix TV interview is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. Visit us online at wholesalesupply.us.
The Cleveland High School Blue Raider football team, and we welcome in Cleveland High School. Terry, good morning, buddy.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Very, very happy to have Coach Taggart and 4 of his players and 4 key players for this football team. Very excited about getting the season started. Coach Taggart, first of all, you go down to Chattanooga tomorrow night, a couple of quarters in the Jamboree. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're playing tonight 6:30 against Brainerd High School, and then 7:30 against McCallie. So then McCallie would make the 3rd scrimmage we have against a private school team that finished in the Final Four last year. So after that scrimmage, we'll definitely have a good idea where we're at going into Week 1 against Clinton.
You've not dodged anybody in the preseason.
No.
But let's move it forward to next week when it really starts counting. You go up to Clinton on the road for the first game. You have told me off the record that that's a very good football team.
Yeah, so they have 6 or 7 players that have all received at least a Division I AA scholarship offer. Quarterback just committed to UT Martin. They've got a 6'6" wide receiver transfer came in, a 6'5" wide receiver. They've got a safety going to Purdue. They've got a running back that's got a bunch of I AA offers. So they are a loaded football team. We're playing at Dragon Stadium. They're already saying it's the year of the Dragon up there. We did a 7-on-7 with Anderson County. That's their big rival, and so we've got a lot of information on them, but they're loaded this year. It's going to be a tough challenge.
Let's talk about the Blue Raiders for the 2023 season. First of all, offense, a short statement about what you expect, what kind of team you have offensively.
Well, I mean, offensively, we feel good where we're at. I mean, we've got a lot of talented players. You know, Aaron plays both ways now, was a starting corner last year. LJ's playing receiver in about every position on the field. Will Brantley's our leader of our offensive line, our starting right tackle. Moved over from right guard to right tackle and has done a great job. We got a lot of good players, a lot of talent. You know, we snap it really fast to do some neat things. And bottom line, I can say at least it's fun to come watch on a Friday night. So hopefully we'll sell a lot of tickets and make some money that way.
The interest in the program this year, to me, is highest it's been in quite some time, honestly. And just a statement about the defense.
Now, defensively, Coach Manius came over from Tyner last year, and then he partnered up with some of our coaches from Blackman and some other coaches, and they're doing a great job. So Cam Lockerby's kind of our captain of our defense. Had over 100 tackles last year, coming back this year, and you know, we return all 3 starting linebackers. We got a bunch of starting defensive linemen. We're defensively, though, they're way ahead of where we are offensively. So they're kind of the leaders of the team. We're starting on defense every scrimmage, and our front 7 is as good as anywhere I've been since I've been a head coach. And so we're kind of have been known for offense the last 2 schools, but honestly, defensively is where we're doing the best right now.
Let's go to those players. LJ Adams, tell us about quarterback and wide receiver. You cover both of those positions quite well.
Yes, sir. It's just really easy. I don't say it comes natural, but wide receiver, knowing like your routes running and your releases, it's easier for a quarterback to go out there and throw the ball to another wide receiver, come back from wide receiver.
Okay. Next man up. Name, position, and jersey number.
Aaron Smith. I'm number 3. I play defensive back and receiver. Start both ways.
Very good. Now, you were a defensive back last year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and had a good year. So tell us about going to the offense also this year.
Going to the offensive side, it's really exciting and get me involved on offense, you know, start to score some touchdowns and see things I didn't see last year. So it's just really exciting to be there.
And to be in this offense, you got to be in great shape. So I'm sure you've run a lot this summer because Coach wants it snapped every 13, 15 seconds.
I'd say everybody 1 through 99, everybody on the team's in great shape. Everybody, I say we all run the same. We all work hard every single day. So I'd say we're all ready.
All right. Will Brantley. Well, this is season number 3 you're starting, if I'm remembering correctly.
Be number 2, sir.
Okay, well, all right, that's good enough, too. I got to know height and weight.
I'm about 6'3", 310 pounds.
All right, and your plans for this season, what are you looking forward to?
Well, looking forward to this season is I'm very excited about the new prospects as an offense. I feel like we're moving a lot faster this year. We're going to be a lot better this year. A lot more of an offensive team, put more points on the board than we did last year because I feel like we kind of let down in that point.
Is it difficult being an offensive lineman in Coach's offensive scheme?
It was at first, but I think, you know, all 5 of us now, at this point, we're kind of used to it. It's not really as big of a deal as it was at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Hang on, Terry. So your dad is Chad Brantley, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I went to high school with Chad. He was a punter.
Yeah.
Okay. You're an offensive lineman, and you're quite a bit bigger than your father. Did you realize this?
Yeah.
Did you ever make fun of your father that he was a punter?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, back to you, Terry.
Good point. Okay, Cam Lockerbie. Seems like he's been there a long, long time. Cam, what do you want to do in your senior season?
Just want to win, work hard, and play football, hit people.
And hit people, correct. Okay. In your household, football is kind of a primary thing because your dad's down at Red Bank. Used to be at Cleveland as an assistant, and he's at Red Bank now. Any discussions, I should say, between a rivalry between you and him?
Oh, yeah. A lot of trash talk around the house, but, I mean, when it comes to, like, me playing, he always coaches me up still.
Yeah. All right. Guys, thank you very much. Steve, thank you for having us on, and we're looking forward to the start of the season next week.
So next week, Terry at Knoxville Clinton, is that correct?
Yes.
Of course, our stations have been the home of Cleveland High School football since the inception, 1967, WCLE. Terry, you and Greg Phillips are carrying on a tremendous tradition. How many years for you on Cleveland High?
Oh, Steve, it goes over 40. There were a couple of breaks in there, but it goes over 40.
You had to get away from Tom Rowland. I understand.
Well, you know.
We all do at some point. Anyway.
Yeah, Tom was a supporter back in the day.
Yes, he was. Terry, God bless you. Good luck to you and Greg. And I just hope there's room in the booth with Greg in there. Thank you very much.
We're hoping for a big press box.
Hey, I know. It's going to be a great season. Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You for coming. Guys, good luck this season. Great to see you.
Thank you, guys.
Tell your dad I was just kidding. I don't want him to beat me up. All right. We'll come right back with more in just a moment.
From Lookout Mountain to Cleveland, from Red Bank to Collegedale, luxury lives here.
Chattanooga Auto Square is your home for premium luxury automobiles.
And we have the largest selection in all of Chattanooga of pre-owned vehicles from every major brand.
Chattanooga Auto Square, Jaguar, Land Rover, Porsche, Infiniti.
Luxury lives here.
Save a bundle at Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress. Furniture, mattresses, and decor. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to 40% off. Create a bundle, a sofa and chairs, end tables, a recliner, lamps and rugs, an entire room. Up to 40% off. Create a custom bundle and watch the savings grow. Up to 40% off. Look for Take Me Home Today tags. Bundle in-stock items. Special financing is available. Bundle and save at Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress.
Healthcare is constantly evolving, and the future is here.
Direct Primary Care Associates Pharmacy Benefits is the future of healthcare. With its focus on preventative care, personalized attention, and included generic medications, Direct Primary Care Associates Pharmacy Benefits is changing the game. No more long wait times, rushed appointments, or outrageous medication costs. Join the healthcare revolution today and discover why Direct Primary Care Associates with Pharmacy Benefits is the future of healthcare. Direct Primary Care Associates, affordable healthcare for all.
You're watching Mix Mornings on Mix TV. Here is your current Kia of Cleveland time. And your current temperature is brought to you by Simply Bank. For Cleveland Mix Highway Patrol Report is brought to you by Don Ledford in Cleveland. Don Ledford Buick GMC truck is saying yes to low interest rates and trade assistance in August. Finish your summer and start the fall in a new Buick or GMC from Don Ledford Buick GMC, located on North Lee Highway in Cleveland, or go to donledford.com for more details. We have no reports of any accidents this morning. Drive safely out there as you make your way in. If you see a traffic problem, give us a call. The volunteer Ritapest Mix line is 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Sell with Darren text line. That's Darren Miller, eXp Realty.
Well, we're joined now by Josh Rogers, Jimmy Logan, and gentlemen, it's a very special morning here, isn't it?
No question about it. Great weekend to start out with the kinds of things. It was nice to have the Cleveland High School coach in here. I understand that Coach Heupel's been consulting with him to speed up the Tennessee game. But this guy, he has quite a reputation. He's the Heupel of high school football, without question, and I think it's going to be exciting.
Jimmy, I want to talk to you in just a second about something tonight, but Josh, I tell you, our high school coverage supplied by Wholesale Supply Group this whole morning, supplied by Wholesale. You guys are love to be involved in high schools.
Absolutely. It's a way for us to be able to not just get our name out there, but it's a way for us to get back. It's a way for us to be able to support these local students, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is. We enjoy it, we love it, and the big thing is being able to spotlight these kids and spotlight their talent. A lot of us that work at Wholesale, we played high school sports, and so for us to be able to give back to the community in that fact, to be able to let these players, have a stage, so much, whether it's on radio or whether it's on Mixed TV, to be able to perform. A lot of these kids, parents or grandparents or family members live out of town, and so that's one of the best things about Mixed TV and the rivalry games is now that we're able to bring, 9 games this year? 8 games this year from all across the region to be able to show the talents of these kids, and we're excited about it.
Yes, we'll kick that off a week from tonight. Josh Rogers, Shelton, and myself will do Bradley at McMinn County, our first TV game of the year. Of course, all games will be on our one of our 3 stations. Cleveland High School here on Mix 104.1, Bradley Central Talk 101.3 The Buzz, Walker Valley High School on 99.1, just as always. Jimmy, you've got a big event happening tonight at Cleveland State. Tell me what's happening.
I tell you, folks, get your tickets now. The Cleveland Public Library's sponsorships go from people who contribute annually, but it takes a lot of money to operate the absolutely fine Cleveland Public Library. Tonight, it's the fundraiser play. The murder mystery is solved. It's going to be a shocking conclusion, I can assure you. Some of the actors and actresses are well known in our community to act in a way and manner that some people find somewhat offensive, but you'll have that prominently displayed tonight at Cleveland State Community College. Be there and have a great time, and you'll make your contribution to the maintenance of our Cleveland Public Library. There's somebody there that may say some not so nice things about the book storage facility properly, which is presently being used as a library. A new library is taking over. Truly a takeover. Hostile takeover of the Cleveland Public Library will take place tonight
All right, it's going to be a lot of fun. It is 7:30, and a couple of other things, guys. Tomorrow, I know you'll both be there. It's our Mix 104.1 Great Cleveland Duck Race, presented by Don Ledford Automotive Center. And so, Bridget, today's the final day to get their ducks if they don't have them yet.
That's right. Yeah. So you can call or text us this morning if you haven't won your duck yet, 614-6499. Call us on the Volunteer Rid-A-Pest Mix line or text us on the Sell with Darren text line, Darren Miller, eXp Realty. And then be sure to pick up your duck at Don Ledford Cleveland by 5 o'clock today.
Video chat with TV.
You need money overnight? Check into cash. Your time is tight. .com. Bank account's too low? Check into cash. So where do you go? .com. Do it online in a record time. It's the easy way to get money next day. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com. You can be sure it's secure from our bank straight to yours. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com.
Hey listeners, there's a new buzz Tuesdays at noon, the voice of We the People. It's about what the H is going on in America. Tune in and call in Tuesdays on 101.3 The Buzz. A seatbelt is required for this ride.
The summer sales event is on at Cleveland Ford, and I'm here to tell you the car business is back. Cleveland Ford's inventory is back with over 100 new Fords in stock. Discounts are back, so prices are down, interest rates are down, and rebates are up. In addition to all that, Cleveland Ford has up to $2,000 in trade assistance cash available that you can use as a down payment or to pay off your trade. So hurry into Cleveland Ford today, because with all they've got going on, now is the time to buy.
Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfasts bake goodness into your morning. Choose a biscuit with sausage and egg, biscuit and gravy, or French toast tips. Any two, just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
Peyton Southeastern is hiring. You have the potential to earn over $21 an hour with new progressive pay rates. A $2 night shift premium, plus you're eligible to earn a $5,000 stay bonus. Peyton's in Cleveland has open interviews every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. and then from 1 to 3 p.m. Apply online at jobs.kroger.com to work at Peyton Southeastern in Cleveland.
I told my son to find me the nicest place to live in Cleveland. He said, Dad, there's only one place, and that's Garden Plaza. And I moved into the patio home. Everybody knows your name from day one, and there's something to do all day long if you want to participate in it. You cannot possibly be bored at Garden Plaza. It is just great, and their food is outstanding. It's out of this world. And I'm so happy I'm here. Garden Plaza is it for me.
Mix 104.1 and Honda Cleveland are giving one deserving firefighter in our area a chance to win a 2023 Honda Civic. Nominate your favorite firefighter today at mymix1041.com.
Wholesale Supply Group, let's check our weather here.
Pencils and paper are just part of what your child needs for school this year. They also need a great night's sleep. Let Mermaid Mattress help this weekend by paying your sales tax for all your back-to-school mattress needs.
All right, for today, we'll have a few thunderstorms this morning and then partly cloudy skies this afternoon. A high of 86 and a low of 71 tonight. For tomorrow, partly cloudy during the day, a high of 91. We'll see thunderstorms late tomorrow evening with a low of 72. Then a few isolated storms on Sunday possible with a high of 90. Your current Simply Bank temperature is 72 degrees.
Aubrey's of Cleveland offers some of the most fresh and delicious foods in East Tennessee. Stop in tonight for dinner or order online at aubreysrestaurant.com. Click the Cleveland location and order there.
It's the CHI Memorial Sports Desk. CHI Memorial. Hello, Human Kindness, a sports report. Sponsored by the Town Squire. Have you heard? The Town Squire is having its 46th anniversary celebration. The Town Squire. Larry and his staff excited over the sale going on at the Town Squire. Brands like Peter Millar's Southern Tide, Vineyard Vines, Johnny O, and Southern Mars, just to name a few. Styles and hanging out sports shirts, polos, and T-shirts. Stop by and check them out. T-shirts $25, sportswear 20% off or more. Outfitting their customers since 1977. The shop that appreciates the customer, the Town Squire. Come in and celebrate their 46th anniversary. Stewart Park Plaza, Keith Street, Cleveland. All right, well, the Pirates beat the Braves yesterday, 7-5. Josh, I think, they split in Pittsburgh, is that right? Hang on a second. I didn't have your mic on. Go ahead, what?
They did, yes.
Yeah. Why?
Well, I think the Braves pitching over the past handful of games has not been the absolute best. You know, Max Fried coming back is going to be a big boost, but you know, as a Braves fan, you want them to struggle now, and then instead of struggling, you know, in the beginning of October, in September, and so I think they're just working out some of the issues that they have there at pitching. They're trying to get some other guys back, but they're doing good. Matt Olson hit his 40th home run yesterday, so that's huge news.
Wow.
Tied with Shohei Ohtani for the most home runs in the National League. He's on pace to do about 55 or 56 this year. So big season with Olson and Acuna there going after it for NL MVP.
Braves at Mets tonight, 7:10 here on Mix 104.1, driven by Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. And then Braves will host the Yankees beginning Monday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against the Yankees. Going to have a homestand after that. But really, the big games are this weekend. Mets, Braves kind of continue to that lead in the NL East. And hopefully the Braves can kind of start turning around before they get back home.
All right, you're listening or watching our Mix 104.1, MixTV.tv, high school football kickoff morning, an annual tradition supplied by Wholesale Supply Group, sponsored by Hardee's. We've had Cleveland in. If you missed that, you can go back and watch it later on MixTV.tv. Walker Valley is up next with Drew Akins and some players, and then Bradley Central and Damon Floyd. This is also the morning that Bob Kesling will join us, Jimmy. We're looking forward to that.
How great. The voice of the Volunteers. You'll really enjoy Bob Kesling if you've not heard him speak. He knows Tennessee football from tiddlywinks to football, and he knows it all. I'm telling you. Bob Wood, a great Tennessee public what is he? The voice of the Volunteers.
He's the voice of the Vols.
Yes.
Hey, Jimmy, high school football, my goodness, it's just wonderful, especially here in Cleveland and Bradley County, isn't it?
3 of the finest programs for high school football that you'll find in the state. One of the things that happens as a result of that is the competition between the local teams may result in us not having what we had back in the 60s when we had Bradley Central High School, and we didn't know what Cleveland High School was. So the talent was there for sure, and not spread around the schools as we have this year. 3 great team programs, I think. 3 of the finest coaches in the state, without question. And we were seeing the same thing in the other sports. Just an increase in the coaching talent that we have. And coaching counts, doesn't it, Josh?
It absolutely does. And I think the big thing is that we have been blessed with Damon obviously, has been an unbelievable coach at Bradley for so many years. And now we've got a coach at Cleveland, Coach Tiger, that's coming in, and, the Cleveland fans, and that's the big thing about this town is that rivalries run deep. So, either you're a Bear, you're a Mustang, or you're a Raider. And with Cleveland, Coach Tiger coming in, Cleveland's expecting some big things this year. And I was on my way over here this morning listening to the interview earlier this morning. If you're just tuning in now, I'd encourage you to go back and listen to it. I think that they're going to play fast, they're going to play quick, and they're going to want to score a lot of points. And I think that Cleveland's going to have a good season this year. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Drew and Walker Valley have, and obviously Bradley as well. And I think that it's going to be a great season for Bradley sports. And I think everyone, especially all of us who are call games and are invested in it, I think that we're expecting big things from all 3 teams this year.
The high school football jamboree continues tonight at Finley Stadium. 21 teams are playing through tomorrow night. Tonight, Ooltewah will play Boyd Buchanan at 7:30, and then South Pittsburgh at 8:30. And then tomorrow night, Cleveland will play Chattanooga Brainerd at 6:30, and then McCallie at 7:30. Where we go from here, a week from tonight, we'll begin the high school football regular season. All 3 schools will be on our 3 radio stations. Walker Valley High School, 99.1. They have the lone home game locally next Friday night. Cleveland High School on the road here on Mix 104.1. Bradley Central also on the road at McMinn County. That will get double coverage. We'll have it on Talk 101.3 The Buzz with Gary Onby and Coach Rowan. And then we'll have television coverage. That's our first TV game. We are doubling, I'm telling you now, and make a little announcement here, Josh, but we're doubling the amount of games we've been doing the last couple of years is our third year of doing mixedtv.tv. And so you, Shelton, if he stays in town for once, and myself will call the Bradley McMinn game in Athens.
Yeah, so you and I will be calling that game in Athens next Friday night, and we're super excited. You know, the past few years, we've just kind of done the local rivalry games, and you know, whether it's Bradley and Walker Valley, or you know, Walker Valley Cleveland, kind of mixing forth, and we'd always kind of have one offshoot game. You know, I think last year we did Cleveland and Red Bank, I think was that game last year. Boy, it was hot in that press box. That's the one thing I remember about that game. That sun was just blaring right on us. But this year we're going to get around to travel around the region. We've got the new Mixed TV trailer that we're super excited to be able to have. We're going to have some new features, some different camera shots, and it's going to be a really good thing. We're to kind of tease some of the games. Yeah, you talked about going to McMinn, but we're looking at going to Polk. We're looking at going to Ottawa. So there's going to be kind of the game of the week and in our region, and we're going to be there to cover it, and we're really excited. And another awesome thing that we learned this year to kind of even tease it out even further is we've got permission from TSSAA to start doing playoff games, and so we're excited to be able to hopefully see Bradley and Walker Valley and Cleveland make it to the playoffs, and then be able to bring that coverage live on mixedtv.tv this year.
You're talking about local rivalries you don't match anywhere. McMinn County, Bradley Central. That's been a bitter rivalry with the purported we have a great deal of respect for the other team. Since the early 1900s, that rivalry is deep. Bradley fans are going to Athens. You watch. There's going to be some black and gold there that'll just be astonishing for the folks up in McMinn County.
I do have a question. Since we're traveling all these games, are you paying for my mileage this year? Is that how that works?
No, it's not.
Bridget, when you go and travel to all these little 2-hour things, do you get paid mileage?
No, Bridget has a limo.
Our contract.
So,
Do I get to ride in the mix bus?
Hey, Fruit Loops, come on. Does Josh get to ride with you in the new mixed trailer, the TV trailer?
No, it's part of the contract that you don't get.
I didn't sign a contract.
But, that's the thing. You didn't sign it, but you had it presented to you.
You signed it in blood.
You knew.
Hey, and by the way, replacing Shelton this year will be one of the robots from Cleveland High School. It'd be about the same. Fruit Loops.
ChatGPT.
Exactly. Hey, we got to get serious a second. We got to check this school poll. Have you weeded out all the criminals that have voted more than once?
I have. Yes, I have.
So we have the official word now. It all ends at 5 o'clock today. Our favorite school poll. Some school's going to win $500. But bragging rights are more important, really. But all right, let's go. It's courtesy of Medical Center Pharmacy. Let's go over to you. What's happening?
As of right now, Lake Forest is in the lead. Second, we've got Charleston Elementary, and then third, we got Michigan Avenue. So.
Can you tell the details, like how far off is Charleston from Lake Forest, or is that
they're about 60 votes ahead.
60 votes, Lake Forest ahead of Charleston?
Yeah, and we had about 150 people vote for Ocoee Middle yesterday, so I know they worked on getting the word out there.
Limburg sent a text out because I was standing with Adam Lewis at the Alchemy Spa where he was getting everything done he could.
Bridget was there, had a remote yesterday.
Bridget was there live.
Didn't get paid for her mileage to going over there, but
well, you know, it's fine. So anyway, and he got a text from Ocoee Middle to vote, and he refused. He said he had to be paid for his votes, much like he normally is. It is so Lake Forest by about 60 over Charleston, and then Michigan Avenue, and I heard from Ruthie Panny yesterday, and then and who's next? Hopewell or North Lee? Or can you count that high?
So we got Lake Forest, Charleston, Michigan Avenue, and then I'm not sure who's next. Okay. It looks like Blythe Bauer.
Oh, goodness.
Blythe Bauer?
Yep.
Joel Barnes woke up? He didn't even know school had started. All right, thanks. Thanks for everything. 7:45. Hey, is Akins here yet? Do we know?
I don't know. But, hey, I just started thinking.
Drew Akins is supposed to be here.
Hey, I started thinking about this. Hey, what if Bradley or Walker Valley or Cleveland, like, play over in, like, West Tennessee, and we have to go all the way over there? Do you think we could unionize Mix 104 and we could start...
Oh, well, your mic just cut off. I can't imagine what happened. We just lost your mic. Back in a second. Now we're going to hear you on tape, which is more entertaining than you live.
Did you know that drinking and driving is a leading cause of traffic fatalities? It kills more than 28 people in the United States every day. That means one person every 52 minutes. Statistically, young people are the most at risk to drink and drive, but not everyone's doing it. Don't drink and drive.
Attention shoppers, learn more about our Picky Promise.
This produce looks amazing, and it smells so fresh. Food City is as picky about produce as I am, and that's hard to do. But they make it look easy with their Picky Promise. If it's ever not fresh, they'll replace it.
That's cool. And I thought their helpful certified butchers were the coolest thing about this place.
It's all here.
Nobody does food like Food City.
This is John Davis, the trade-in man for Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway, and we will overpay for your old car today. High mileage, cosmetic issues, that's okay. Rusted, busted, can't be trusted, all trade-ins are welcome. Just bring us your old car as is. Don't even wash it. You'll be shocked of how much I'm willing to pay for your old car in any condition. Come see me, John Davis, the trade-in man for Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where selling your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thank you for calling Logan Thompson. This is Ashley.
You get a yearly checkup. Shouldn't your air? With your local Lennox dealer, regular care equals perfect air. With technology you can touch, comfortable air you can feel, and savings you can see. Not just perfect air, perfect for you air.
Call Dale's Heating and Air to upgrade your air today.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Hey, who doesn't love a great deal?
We all do, right? And right now at our clearance center, you can get an adjustable base for as little as $199, or assorted headboards for only $99 each.
But only at Mermaid Mattress.
Your sleep handmade, hand-delivered.
Mayfield Dairy, celebrating 100 years of the iconic Mayfield ice cream at MayfieldDairy.com. Proudly headquartered in Athens, Tennessee.
Mix 1041 is celebrating 30 years of being on air. We are celebrating by giving away 30 prizes over 30 weeks. Presented by TVFCU Mortgage. Register today at mymix1041.com.
This is Thomas Williams with Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. Stop by today and take advantage of Bradley County's largest pre-owned inventory. Or visit cleveland-nissan.com, home of the lifetime warranty.
Bender Realty is helping to keep the community thriving during this pandemic by offering no-contact online tools for buyers and sellers in the real estate market.
Especially in this day and time with COVID, it makes a lot of the buyers are not wanting to get out and walk into someone else's home, and even sellers may not want people in their home. We can actually do a virtual tour with our phones and send it to our clients.
Walk through a property without having to actually be there and see all the intricacies of the property and the things that they may or may not want.
If you're looking to buy, sell, lease, or rent, trust your friends at Bender Realty. 472-2173. Bender-Realty.com. Be home with Bender Realty.
Cleveland Tire is ready to help your auto any way it can. We're one of the largest providers of Bridgestone and Firestone tire dealers in the area. We sell all major brand tires. We have ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
Dad, I don't feel so good.
What'd you say, babe?
I don't feel so good.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to take your temperature?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it does look high. Let's schedule an appointment with DPCA.
Direct Primary Care Associates is here to help at times just like these. The convenience of same-day and telemed visits. They are always available to help with your busy lifestyle. Visit us online at directpca.com.
20 years later, we've grown in many ways, but never out of that same customer-first heart to serve. Doing the right thing simply because it's right will earn your business the right way every day, every year, offering permanent steel roofing and siding at competitive prices, keeping promises, staying on time for both deliveries and pickups, making things right when we come up short. Partners like you are the reason Best Buy Metals exists.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve you.
Come see us.
For more details. Crews are working a crash with injuries. It's going to be on Keith Street at 20th Street, so be aware of that as you drive. Again, that is Keith Street at 20th Street. We'll be sure to keep you up to date on that. That is a crash with injuries. And then we are seeing a slowdown on the interstate, I-75 north and southbound right there just past exit 20, but that's where the rain is the heaviest right now. So we're not seeing any accidents right there at the moment, but of course visibility is limited there due to the heavy rain right there on the interstate. If you see a traffic problem, give us a call. The volunteer Rid of Pest Mix line is 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Sell with Darren text line. Darren Miller, eXp Realty.
All right, let's get a check of our Simmons Bank celebration list. 8 minutes before 8 o'clock. Right before that, though, hey, Fruit Loops, you want to make your correction? Because I knew you were wrong when you said it, because I saw the votes this morning.
Yes, the graph was too small.
Why don't you get an eye
but
test,
no, it's
and then get an IQ
test,
test, and then let's see which is lower.
Well, he's 35 now. So.
Excuse you?
He's 35
35 now, yeah. Well, his biological age is about 81.
Looks like it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're one to talk there.
What are you talking about? My body looks good.
Well, I ain't be talking about your body, boy. I've been talking about Austin Chadwick's lack of IQ points. His shoe size is, well, okay. Come on. What's the correction? I got to go here. And by the way, Drew Akins is not here.
This is why we need to
out.
unionize for comments like that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. What?
No, in fourth we have North Lee Elementary.
Instead of Blythe-Bauer.
Oh, he said Blythe-Bauer.
Blythe-Bauer.
Well, I know Joel Barnes. He's still in Tahiti. He's not coming back. I went to leave with that boy. All right, Simmons Bank. So Lake Forest up 60 on Charleston.
Yes.
Leading Michigan Avenue.
Yep, there's about 40 votes difference between those two, and about 40 more votes you've got North Lee.
Well, here's what North Lee's doing. Laurie Riyadh, whose uncles are, Uncle Scotty Gilbert, Commissioner Gilbert, they're promising tea cookies to everybody who votes. So I think that's very generous. All right, Bridget, Simmons Bank celebration list. What do you got?
Happy birthday to Adam Lewis tomorrow. He is the executive assistant to Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis.
Daddy. Oh, that's right. Daddy. You'll look it up. All right, go ahead.
Happy birthday, Adam. Coach Amy McGowan at Cleveland High School. She's the head volleyball coach there. She's celebrating her birthday tomorrow.
ACC legend, literally.
That's
named
right.
an ACC legend. Come on.
Right, yes. Victor Walker is having a birthday on Sunday. Judge Andrew
Morgan. I love Victor
Morgan.
Walker. I hadn't heard from him in a long time.
I know. Yeah, he's great.
He used to be on the Friday Night Blitz back in the day with Shelton and all of them, back when Shelton lived in Cleveland.
When's Andrew's birthday?
It is tomorrow.
It is, so Daddy Lewis shares a birthday with Amy McGowan and a judge.
That's right.
Wow.
One of these things is not like the other. One of the well,
talk about coming in last place.
The judge would be appropriate. Okay, back over to you.
Carla Watson is having a birthday today at Baines Business Machines. Also, Tammy Stubblefield is having a birthday today as well. Debbie Williams is celebrating tomorrow. Deborah Henry is having a birthday today. The birthday wish says she's an amazing mom and grandma. Missy Welch is celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Her husband Brian sent that in to us. She is a 5th grade teacher at Michigan Avenue. Jeff and April Salyer, they are celebrating their 23rd wedding anniversary tomorrow.
It's a miracle.
And then Easton Broom is 2 years old today. That is from his grandparents. Calling your birthdays and wedding anniversaries to us. We'll take those on the volunteer Ridipest mix line 614-6499. You can text us at that same number. On the Sell with Darren text line, that's Darren Miller, eXp Realty. Go to our website, mymix1041.com, or download our free Mix 1041 app. It's the Simmons Bank celebration list. At Simmons Bank, they have something for everyone to help you manage your finances with ease and security. Call Jamie Kyle at 423-381-3429. Just got another birthday in here on the text. Dr. James Jones, the Director of Schools in Polk County. Birthday is today. So happy birthday, Dr. Jones.
Steve commenting about, how long marriages last and those kinds of things. There's a lot of give and take in a marriage. Steve takes and his bride gives. Yes, so he thinks it's one side or the other instead of sharing that give and take.
Come on, Jimmy.
Duck race tomorrow.
What?
Duck race tomorrow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what you're hearing and seeing here is the fact that, sadly, Coach Akins is about 25 minutes late. So we're just filling at this point. So, I mean, I don't know if they get...
typically what you do is fill in, isn't it?
Well, that's about right. So we're just waiting.
Hour and a half all day.
Yeah, about right. The duck race is tomorrow. Jimmy, about 17 years ago, this thing started, and it just grows every year. But you know what? It's on a Saturday for the first time.
Thank the Rogers girls for that one.
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to evaluate the participation level tomorrow against the participation level in the past. When you make projections as to something and you haven't had that experience, Josh, come on.
It's a wonderful point. So we're leaving the phone lines open all morning, phone, text, all of it. And Bridget, people can get their ducks at any time they want them, and that's what we're doing.
That's right. Call or text us 614-6499. Call us on the volunteer Ridipest mix line. Text us on the Sell with Darren text line. Darren Miller, eXp Realty. Our number is 614-6499.
All right. Also, we're taking your votes again for the favorite school poll, which is brought to you by Medical Center Pharmacy, and also Bridget, the Bradley County and Cleveland City School Systems. Let's talk about that a second.
Yeah, that's right. So when you vote for your favorite school, the winning school is going to win $500 from Medical Center Pharmacy. And then when you vote, that is your entry into our Mix 30 prize for this week, which is from the Cleveland and Bradley County School Systems. You're going to win a pass that will get you and your family a family 4-pack of tickets to every Bradley Central, Cleveland, and Walker Valley High School sporting event for the 23-24 school year. So that is your entry. When you vote for your favorite school, you're going to be automatically entered in that contest. Again, you can send in your votes this morning, 614-6499. You can call or text us anytime. We'll announce the winner around 5 o'clock this afternoon. Again, the winning school wins $500 in cash from our friends at Medical Center Pharmacy. We appreciate Medical Center Pharmacy, also the Cleveland and City and Bradley County School Systems for teaming up this week with Mix 30.
All right, coming up next, we'll join Bradley Central High School, Damon Floyd, and he's brought some captains with him. We'll do that, plus Bob Kesling on his way down from Knoxville in just a moment.
This traffic report is...
Hey, listeners, there's a new Buzz Tuesdays at noon, the voice of We the People. It's about what the H is going on in America. Tune in and call in Tuesdays on 101.3 The Buzz. A seatbelt is required for this ride.
The summer sales event is on at Cleveland Ford, and the car business is back. Inventory's back, discounts are back, and interest rates are down. Cleveland Ford even has trade-in assistance cash available, so hurry to Cleveland Ford today, because now is the time to buy.
Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfasts bake goodness into your morning. Choose a biscuit with sausage and egg, biscuit and gravy, or French toast tips. Any two, just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
I told my son to find me the nicest place to live in Cleveland. He said, Dad, there's only one place, and that's Garden Plaza. And I moved into the patio home. Everybody knows your name from day one, and there's something to do all day long if you want to participate in it. You cannot possibly be bored at Garden Plaza. It is just great, and their food is outstanding. It's out of this world. I'm so happy I'm here. Garden Plaza is it for me.
This is John Davis, the trade-in man for Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway, and we will overpay for your old car today. High mileage, cosmetic issues, that's okay. Rusted, busted, can't be trusted, all trade-ins are welcome. Just bring us your old car as is. Don't even wash it. You'll be shocked of how much I'm willing to pay for your old car in any condition. Come see me, John Davis, the trade-in man for Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where selling your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Peyton Southeastern is hiring. You have the potential to earn over $21 an hour with new progressive pay rates, a $2 night shift premium, plus you're eligible to earn a $5,000 stay bonus. Peyton's in Cleveland has open interviews every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. and then from 1 to 3 p.m. Apply online at jobs.kroger.com to work at Peyton Southeastern in Cleveland.
At Ralph Buckner Funeral Home and Crematory, the tradition was founded by Ralph and Stella Buckner and continued by Ralph Buckner Jr. and his wife, Shari Buckner. Ralph Buckner Funeral Home and Crematory is a tradition of service. Ralph Buckner Funeral Home and Crematory, caring for Cleveland families whenever they need them. Visit ralphbuckner.com.
For today, we could see a few thunderstorms this morning and heavy rainfall as well, and then partly cloudy skies by this afternoon. A high of 87 and a low of 72 this evening. For tomorrow, partly cloudy during the day, a high of 87, a chance of thunderstorms late tomorrow evening with a low of 71. And then we could see a few isolated thunderstorms during the morning on Sunday with a high of 90. Your current Simply Bank temperature is 72 degrees.
This weather forecast is brought to you by the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry, Doctors Ken and Brian Beard. Call them at 423-476-6541 or visit centerforcosmeticdentistry.com.
Broadcasting from the Kia of Cleveland studios, this is Talk 1013 The Buzz, WCLE, HD2 and 1013 FM, W267BI Cleveland.
Presented by Best Buy Metals, making sure the top of your house is the best it can be. BestBuyMetalRoofing.com.
Fox News is next, presented by Capital Tire Service in downtown Cleveland.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. The Hawaiian town of Lahaina is gone, says the mayor. How many houses? We don't know, he says, but 55 people are known dead on Maui after the firestorm whipped by offshore Hurricane Dora. About 1,000 people unaccounted for, given that cell phones and power are down. Fox's William LaJeunesse on Maui.
The speed of this fire was so great, people couldn't get out in time, and they couldn't even see the flames. The smoke was so thick. Traffic was backed up. People literally died in their cars.
Today's about finding family and friends, beloved pets, finding shelter and getting in resources from off the island. President Biden pledging full federal support. Donald Trump's lawyers face off with the Justice Department over what he can say about his election interference trial in public. DOJ trying to tie him up during the Iowa caucuses, proposing a January trial of 4 to 6 weeks. America is listening to Fox News.
The Mix 1041 News Desk brought to you by Logan Thompson Law, a tradition of legal and community service. That's Logan Thompson Law at LoganThompsonLaw.com. All right, Mix 1041. Good morning, everyone. Mix 1041 and MixTV.tv. Local and state news from the Logan Thompson Law News Desk. A quick check of news, and we're going to talk with our friends from Walker Valley High School on our football. It's football kickoff morning as we do this each year. It's supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. Hey, we appreciate Hardee's and J&S Restaurants. Nicole Morshead and her staff for providing breakfast this morning. As the Bradley County School Board met last night, it was a light agenda, but Cope Architecture was on hand. They're conducting a capacity study for the Bradley County school system. While the final report's not complete, the discussion last night focused on explaining the process, the remaining steps yet to be completed, and what the board can expect as far as a timeline. The firm has met with the school principals of every school and the officials with the city to get an understanding of growth patterns and future developments. And the board and school system hope the study will help them better prepare for long and short-term strategies for school capacity issues. They're expecting to have their report completed next month. And the first bills filed for the special session with Governor Bill Lee, which is set to kick off August the 21st, as we had 3 bills filed. One that all schools will develop a policy to direct how students and staff are to respond when a fire alarm is activated on school premises. The Covenant school shooter in Nashville pulled the fire alarm to lure students and teachers out of their classrooms. Also, eligibility for filing a petition to obtain a lifetime order of protection to include victims of aggravated stalking. And other bills filed yesterday. Don't forget, Friends of the Library fundraiser tonight at Cleveland State Community College. And tomorrow is the Mix 104.1 Great Cleveland Duck Race with our friends at Don Ledford Automotive Center at Greenway Park. If you want your duck, you don't have it yet for tomorrow. It's you call or text 423-614-6499. And we're back with Walker Valley High School in about 8 seconds.
This Mixed TV interview is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. Visit us online at wholesalesupply.us.
Mix 104.1, good morning. Coach Drew Akins. Coach, how are you?
What's up, man? I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. Well, Walker Valley High School, you guys are set to go for the season. Tell me how it's going so far.
Yeah, it's been a great start. You know, we've had 2 scrimmages. Haven't given up a touchdown yet. So that's kind of our claim to be, positive about the season coming up. This guy to my right, Jacob Hollingsworth, is a linebacker for us. The guy to my left is Braxton Smith. He plays cornerback for us. Both have been really great this preseason. Excited for our defense heading into the year. We're doing good things on offense. We got to figure out how to put it in the end zone. So we got Farragut tonight. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to take another step forward.
Josh Rogers, over to you.
Hey, Coach, so last year, second round of the playoffs, right? And I mean, big season last year, 5-7, made it to the second round of the playoffs, and then to a loss to Powell last year. Losses to Bradley, losses to Cleveland last year. How does Walker Valley take that next step? I mean, we make it to the playoffs, but how do we take that next step and continue forward?
Yeah, hosting a playoff game is a big deal. Winning a playoff game is a big deal. But we've got to figure out how to win these one-score games. So when you talk about, hey, what's the next step, it's these one-score games that, we lost 4 games by a total of 17 points last year. We lost to Bradley by 1 on a last-second field goal. We lost, 2 games by a touchdown. We lost another game by 3. So it's just finding a way to win those one-score games. And the way you do that is you're able to run the ball and you're able to play great defense. So I feel like we've made that a focus over the offseason. And that's what we're going to try to do is go out and win those. But really, when you look at our region, we've hosted 2 of the past 4 years. We've hosted a playoff game, so that means we're finishing top 2 in our region every single year. I think the next step in our region is to find a way to win the region. McMinn's been a force the last couple of years in our region. Obviously, Ray County, Ooltewah's in there. We're adding East Hamilton. So adding these teams in, but anytime you win your region, it sets you up for a good playoff run. So close games in our region are the 2 number 1 things on our list.
Had a good bit of seniors leave last year that have played, started for you for many years. With those close games, like you're talking about, 17 points over a handful of games that could have been a difference maker from a 5-7 season to a literally 8-2 season. Unbelievable. When we look at that, what does that mean for all those juniors, those sophomores that played last year that are moving up to seniors and juniors this year, to get that kind of experience, to be that close, to be able to take it to the next level this year?
Yeah, I mean, these 2 guys are walking testimonies of what you're saying. We have a ton of confidence on our team right now. We got a returning quarterback. We got Braxton as a 3-year starter. We got Jacob as a 2-year starter leading our defense. We got Connor Phillips on the defensive line. We have offensive linemen that are or 2-year starters. So we have a lot of returning experience off a team that was right there on the edge. And a lot of times when you're right there on the edge and you're coming back with a bunch of starters returning, you see that next step. You see that big jump forward. So just hoping that that experience that they had last year of understanding, hey, when games get close and tough at the end and it becomes critical moments, you got to continue to be disciplined in what you do. You've got to continue to do what you're supposed to do what you're coached to do, because that's what's going to make it work in the end.
Well, gentlemen, I want to meet the players that we have here. I want to begin with you. Give us your name and that sort of thing.
My name is Jacob Hollingsworth. I play wideback and linebacker.
And what year are you?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior this year, so tell me about this coming season and how your preparation has been.
I'm excited for it. We've been working really hard. You know, there's just been a lot that leads up to the football season. So I'm just excited for some real football finally.
Yeah. You got that right. All right, buddy, tell me about yourself.
My name is Braxton Smith, and I play corner and receiver.
All right, and same question. Tell me about this preseason. How's it going?
Yeah, we're definitely stoked. We've been putting in the work every week, and this preseason type stuff is getting kind of old. So we're kind of ready for some real games.
Absolutely.
Coach Drew Akins, Coach, thank you very much. Look forward to hearing your games on 99.1 FM with our buddies Andy and Jacob. They do a tremendous job, and all the best to you.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate y'all having us.
Thank you, bud. We appreciate it.
Good luck this season, guys.
Yeah, you got it. Walker Valley High School. All right, coming up next, we'll talk with Bradley Central High School, Coach Floyd, along with some players that he's brought with him. The voice of the Volunteers, Bob Kesling, is... Yep, there's Drew right here. Bob, yeah, thanks. Bob, thank you very much. Thank you. Bob, thanks, guys. Good to see you. Have a great day. Bob Kesling is on his way as we say good morning to all of you. We're back in just a moment. But first, this from our friends at Hardee's, a co-sponsor this morning and providing breakfast for everyone.
We here at Mermaid know what you need, and it's a good night's sleep. And right now you can get it for less at our clearance center. You can save up to 50% on Tempur-Pedic, Nectar, Stearns & Foster, and many more.
But only at Mermaid Mattress.
Your sleep handmade, hand-delivered.
Mayfield Dairy, celebrating 100 years of the iconic Mayfield ice cream at MayfieldDairy.com. Proudly headquartered in Athens, Tennessee.
Mix 1041 is celebrating 30 years of being on air. We are celebrating by giving away 30 prizes over 30 weeks. Presented by TVFCU Mortgage. Register today at mymix1041.com.
We're here at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland.
We are here with great service.
We're here.
We're here.
We're here.
We're here with great deals.
We're here for you. So come get huge Nissan savings when you shop Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland and Cleveland-Nissan today. Home of the exclusive lifetime warranty.
Did you know that drinking and driving is a leading cause of traffic fatalities? It kills more than 28 people in the United States every day. That means one person every 62 minutes. Statistically, young people are the most at risk to drink and drive, but not everyone's doing it. Don't drink and drive.
A name and brand that you can trust. Wholesale Supply has been serving the Southeast for over 75 years. Whether you need plumbing, electrical, or HVAC supplies, Wholesale Supply can provide you with the products that you need to complete any job, big or small. Supplying brands such as Kohler, Delta, Rinnai, Progress Lighting, and so many more. With 32 locations across the Southeast, Wholesale Supply is your hometown plumbing, electrical, and HVAC supplier. To find a location near you, visit wholesalesupply.us. And remember, Wholesale Supply is open Monday through Friday and open to the public.
Cleveland Tire is ready to help your auto any way it can. We're one of the largest providers of Goodyear brand tires in the area. We sell all major brand tires. We have ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
Yesterday morning. Here's the good news. Rain chances and cloud cover will both decrease as the day progresses. So for this afternoon, you get a nice mix of sun and clouds and only an isolated shower or storm chance. High temperatures ranging from 83 to 89 degrees. And then it becomes mostly clear this evening as temperatures drop through the 80s. So a nice warm summer Friday night out. Be sure to download our Local 3 weather app. I'm Local 3 meteorologist Allison Pryor.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Bradley Concrete and Lamcon Ready Mix, family-owned business serving Cleveland for over 40 years. Call them at 423-479-4541 or visit lamcon.us to find out more.
This Mixed TV interview is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. Visit us online at wholesalesupply.us.
All right, we got a room full this morning as we welcome you back. Our high school football kickoff show supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. It's time now to talk to the Bradley Central High School Bears, and for that, we go to the voice of the Bears, Gary Ownby, and Coach Earl Rowan. Guys, good morning. How are you?
Good morning to you. Glad to be here, and this is about these guys here, so we're going to get them on the air here. We got a lot of 6 captains this year, and I'll let Damon tell you how he came about that, because normally you don't have 6 captains, but there's a good reason he had that. So Damon, our coach, starting his 18th year, and had a very successful career. He's only second to Jimmy Lovell in number of wins. So maybe a couple years down the road, good players, and if you got some good coaches, you know, coach them up. You know,
I've always said Bradley's a special place. So fortunate to be the head coach for that long, and when you got guys like this, obviously helps. But yeah, we do have a lot of captains this year, a large senior class for us, and when we talked about it as a coaching staff, and our kids always vote, who they want their team leaders to be, then it was kind of hard just to have 3 or 4 guys, because really, and to be honest, not only the guys that are here, but we also have a couple other guys that probably deserve to be here, and. It's a special class, and then of course Boo just joined us in the summer, so I didn't allow him to be a captain because he had to be with us through the off season starting in January. But to be honest, he's came in and been a leader from the get-go. But yeah, these guys behind me are all leaders of our team, and I'm fortunate to be the head coach of a team like this. And they're not only good guys, but they want to work hard. They're good teammates. They care about each other. So pretty special group.
Well, Caleb, you've got a mic in your hand. Why don't you lead us off? Guys, just introduce yourself and what position you play and so forth.
My name's Caleb Martin.
They're all seniors, by the way.
My name's Caleb Martin, and I play quarterback and DB.
Hand the mic back there to Eugene, please.
My name is Eugene Peterson. I play O-line.
Tito Williams, DB and receiver.
Luke Keith, left tackle.
Boo Carter, number 6, running back athlete.
Marcus Gore, number 8, DB and receiver.
Jackson Wilson, running back, linebacker.
So there you have a bunch of seniors. Probably every one of them going to play college ball somewhere as they're being recruited heavily, and a lot of good things and high expectations for Damon and his staff. One of the good things about Damon that I go back to a lot of times, his coaching staff. Out of the coaching staff, 10, counting himself, 10 of them were former Bears who played for Bradley. So I think that means a lot, so to speak, when it comes to your dedication and your the way you work and your attitude and the love you have for Bradley Central High School. I know it speaks highly. Of course, Earl Rowan, who's been on the air for how many years now, Earl?
This will be 58.
58 years.
If I can hang in another week, we'll start.
It only seems Kesling's been on that long.
And he's only 69, so,
Oh, my goodness. 58 years, Coach Ron. My goodness, congratulations. Guys, Gary, back over to you.
Well, we have high expectations, as I said, with the senior class, 24 seniors, I believe you have this year.
Come on back, David.
And come back in here. We're going to get you to talk about
to avoid this stuff.
What's it been like leading up to this year? I mean, you've had 3 scrimmages against 3 defending state champions. which is pretty tough sledding right there, I guess. You've done quite well against them. But.
We've held our own. I felt like we've competed, but you face a team like Alcoa and Baylor and Anderson County, they're going to show some weaknesses, and that's exactly why we scrimmaged them. We're not shying away from the fact that's everyone's goal, and that is, of course, our goal. So we wanted to make sure we had good competition. And the good thing is we stayed healthy, but like I said, we got some weaknesses exposed, and then had a lot of positives as well. So hopefully that'll prepare us for the opening game against McMinn next week.
Well, that's why you play them. See if you win or lose, you find out what you need to do there. You're going to open with McMinn County on the road next Friday night. The 100th game between these two schools, 100th game in 96 years. Wow. Second most rivalry in the state. And they're going to have their ears pinned back coming for the black and gold of Bradley. They wear their own black and gold, and they hate us up there. And there's no love lost. Yeah,
I was actually talking to Boo earlier about, he asked, who is our biggest rival? And I said, well, we got a few. And, McMinn is obviously a huge rival, and I think some of the older people, including myself, look at McMinn as our biggest rival. Mm-hmm. Our kids obviously don't because of Cleveland and Walker Valley right here beside us, but we definitely know McMinn does not like us. There's no love lost, but a lot of respect for Bo and his staff because they play hard, they play the right way, and he always puts a tough team on the field. So it'll be a good game Friday night.
Yeah, it sure will. In your 18 years, starting your 18th year, what's a major change? What have you seen that's so different from the time you started when you were just a young whippersnapper in the late 20s? You were in
I can't remember.
It's a lot going on. You had AstroTurf put down. You've had a Mr. Football lineman that went to Tennessee with Austin Sanders and so forth. You had a nominee. Cole Copeland was nominated for Mr. Football. So you've had a lot of great athletes.
Yeah, I've been fortunate, and like I said, Bradley is a special place. But man, I don't honestly. I have to. Somebody else have to answer that question. I don't know. A lot of good memories. A lot of ups and downs, and I think the thing about Bradley that's special to me is the people. Obviously, that's what makes it. But the amount of people that love Bradley. You talk about our coaching staff having 10 guys on there. And obviously that's who I wanted on our staff, but they wanted to come back as well. We just added Dewan Massengale, who's one of my favorite players I ever coached of all time. We actually created the Bear Award that we give out every year at our banquet for Dewan because of exactly what he meant. And but yeah, it's the people that make it special. So privileged to be there.
All right. Any of you guys have any comments you got to say about the upcoming game? Caleb, you played McMinn before. You came from Ray County, of course. People know that, but.
I ain't too much to say. We're just ready to play.
Ready to play, huh? Yeah. Tired of knocking each other in the head in practice, huh?
Yeah. All that hard work, we're about to play. So.
Well, I know coaches are excited. We are as radio guys. Earl and I have done the radio forever, and we appreciate you guys and all the hard work. I know you guys have gone through the ups and downs of the injuries and things like that too. So let's keep a healthy team this year and see what we can do. And it's there for the taking, guys. It's all up to you guys.
Coach Ron? Gary, let me jump in here and talk with Damon just a minute. Sure. And you and I, you've been around for, you're headed toward 40, more than 30 in the broadcasting. So he's going to catch me here because I know I'm not going to keep this up for another 10 years or so. And Gary's going to, look how young he is. I know he's got at least 20 more in him.
There you go.
There you go.
I would like to think so.
Coach Floyd, Damon, I refer to him as. I want you to hit one aspect here. In the years that I've covered the Bears, I have learned a little bit about football. And one thing that I have observed is you cannot have a successful season with just 3, 4, 5 outstanding athletes. I have looked at, sometimes we have had a couple of outstanding running backs, but we have no offensive line up front. And it's one of the most frustrating things that I have ever sat in a broadcast booth to watch the running backs, good running backs, and there are no holes up there. I've seen the fact that we've had an outstanding quarterback and 0 wide receivers worth a flip.
I didn't say this.
I'm just telling you the facts of what over 50 years of watching all this. Sometimes we have a good offensive unit, and the defense gives up an average of 41 points a game. Hard to win. This year's team and the last several years, we have had the special units that have had outstanding players. We've had a good blend of running backs, a quarterback that we could count on, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers, a great up front 5, the Hogs, great defense. It all comes together. And that is what makes a successful team from my observation. And you've already said, this is perhaps your most experienced and most depth in the 18 years you've been with the Bears. Now, elaborate on what I just said about the different units and how this year's team could be something special.
Well, it's the ultimate team game. You know, everybody's got a job to do every play, and if everyone doesn't do their job successfully, then the team doesn't succeed. So that's one of the things we talk about a lot in the off season is just being a great teammate. And so far, these guys have. And you know, we do have some talented players, but there's one ball, so we got to spread it around and try to get to the guys that make plays. But those guys that are not getting the ball have to block. Defensively, you know, our defensive line and our philosophy, you got to keep people off the linebacker so people like Jackson can go make a tackle, or you know, the secondary's got to cover. So, like I said, ultimate team game. These guys are great teammates. They care about each other. You know, 7-on-7s, for example. If one person scores, the things I look at is not who's scoring. I turn my attention to the rest of the teammates, and they're the ones that's happy that their teammates scoring. And I think that's the difference in winning and losing, because there's no selfishness. You're happy for your teammate. You care about each other. But that all takes time. You know, these guys, a lot of these guys have started for 4 years, and they know each other well, obviously, but they care about each other. And the reason they care about each other is because they built that trust in the weight room at 6 in the morning. You know, like Luke, Tito, they've not missed a workout in 4 years. They also play other sports. But they still come before school, and they live together. And obviously that builds trust amongst each other, but also builds respect. And, you know, that's what you got to do to build a team, to be unselfish.
Amen. I applaud your dedication, your hard work. It's not just talent. It is that team aspect, and Coach Floyd has hit the nail on the head. And I will say, guys, you are blessed to play for not just Coach Floyd, but a great staff of coaches. I think you've already found that out. And this man right here took the Bears. Do all of you know what our record was the year before Coach Floyd took over? Anybody?
0-10?
Almost. 1-9. And we had an 0-10 season. Just Jimmy Logan is nodding in agreement. Yes. And that doesn't set too well with the old-time Bradley alumni and the rabid fans that we have. Talk about the McMinn series. But, guys, Coach Floyd came in, and I remember the president of our booster club saying, some people think that Coach Floyd is too young. You were just, what, 28 years old? 27? Yeah. 26. And when you're 26 years old and you're the head coach of a team like Bradley Central High School, immediately a couple of hundred people are going to say, oh, he's too young, you know, he needs some experience. Hey, the president of our booster club said, we need Damon Floyd. And I hope that he coaches forever. And we're headed in that direction. He may have 30 more years in him. Talk about Gary Owenby here. But, hey, Coach Floyd got it reorganized, brought in a good staff of coaches, and we didn't just turn it around in 1 year. It took 4 or 5 years. And, boy, since then, 13 straight playoffs, and we're headed for 14 this year. And go!
Hey, let's meet the Cherokees. How about that, guys? Let's go. Thanks so much, Earl. Thank you. You guys are stars of the show as well, and obviously you know a lot about Bradley football. Let's go.
All right. Thank you, guys. You can hear them on Talk 101.3 The Buzz beginning next Friday night. Plus, we'll have it on mixtv.tv. Coming up next, Coach Bob Coach. I've had so many coaches there.
The voice of the Volunteers.
Bob Kesling is next. Stand by.
Thank you, good to see you, man.
From Lookout Mountain to Cleveland, from Red Bank to Collegedale, luxury lives here.
Chattanooga Auto Square is your home for premium luxury automobiles.
And we have the largest selection in all of Chattanooga of pre-owned vehicles from every major brand.
Chattanooga Auto Square, Jaguar, Land Rover, Porsche, Infiniti.
Luxury lives here.
Download the free Mix 104.1 app and listen on your phone and mobile device. Download at mymix1041.com, presented by CHI Memorial.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And we're live on Mix 1041, also MixTV.tv. We're joined now by Josh Rogers. We have Bridget here. Bridget, I think if you'll come over here, we have a traffic problem we need to get on here.
Yeah, that's right. Crews are working an accident at the intersection of 25th Street and Keith Street here in Cleveland, so be aware of that. We appreciate the text on that, as always. If you see a traffic problem, call us or text us 614-6499. Call us on the Volunteer Ridipest Mix line or text us on the Sell with Darren text line. That's Darren Miller, eXp Realty.
All right, and we're joined by the voice of the Volunteers, Bob Kesling. Bob, how are you?
This Mix TV interview is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. Visit us online at wholesalesupply.us.
It was kind of treacherous coming through Cleveland today, getting here.
Yeah, how was the weather when you started?
Beautiful sunshine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's all right here.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, I was really surprised when got to about Athens and suddenly it just kind of came down. So anyway, but we're here, we're safe, and good to see good friends and a lot of the players outside, coaches and stuff. That's a good thing you do every year.
We love to have you on this morning. Josh Rogers, of course, one of my broadcast partners. He's got to run, but he has got a couple of hard-nosed questions for you. So
listen, we dug really deep this year.
Okay. Here we go.
Some good questions. Okay. I've got a few, so if you don't mind, I'd like to ask them.
All right.
Shelton's not here, so he sent some in as well.
Brevity brings clarity.
Yes, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest news stories this year when it comes to Tennessee was the NCAA sanctions that the NCAA, or the sanctions that the NCAA kind of brought down on Tennessee was really kind of just a slap on the wrist. I mean, not really big, lose some games and everything. How does that help Tennessee? That, like, we're past that now, it's time to move forward.
Yeah, it lifts the cloud. But I think if you look back over the 2 years that Coach Heupel's been here, I think they've weathered the storm very well. They had scholarship restrictions, but they went in and filled in the transfer portal, and now they're back up to about 85. You've got that cloud hanging over your head, but you get ranked #1 in the country, and you go to the Orange Bowl and win. So I think they weathered the storm very well, and I think that everybody is just glad that it's finally resolved and it's over with, and they can't use that against you in recruiting anymore, and you just keep moving forward. But I think the way Coach Heupel and his staff and the whole athletic department handled the whole situation and all the uncertainty, I think they handled it very well.
According to ESPN, Joe Milton is the #1 most important player in the 2023 college football playoff race for all teams in the NCAA. He gets his third chance to become a star after his battle at Michigan in 2020, Tennessee in 2021, where he lost a starting job. Last season went 971 yards, 10 touchdowns over 9 games behind Hooker. How does he take it to the next step this year? What does he do to be that player, that #1 guy in Tennessee?
Well, I think he's already taken the step. I think you saw it in the Orange Bowl last year, just the way he handled the team, the way he ran the team. There's no question this is his team, and I think everybody on the team, including coaches and the players, understand that they're kind of riding the right arm of Joe Milton this year to see how far they can go. You can't ask for much more experience than Joe has. He's been around the system for 3 years. He knows exactly what Coach Heupel wants to do, and we all know the things that have happened to him in the past, overthrowing guys and throwing the ball too hard. But it looks like his touch is much better. They scrimmaged yesterday. He looked very good in the scrimmage. So I just believe that Joe Milton's ready for a huge year. And if he has a huge year, Tennessee's going to have a huge year.
Last year you told us a story about Jalen Hyatt going out catching thousands of balls during the summer. You got a number count of throws for Milton this summer? I mean, how many
I don't know about this summer. I will tell you a story. Last year there was a scrimmage that they held, and so Joe was rolling around to the right, and almost got to the sideline at the 50-yard line, turned and threw the ball diagonally across the field to the back corner of the end zone, and got Ramel Keaton right in stride as he got 1 foot inbound and made the catch. And I mean, it was just unbelievable. I'd never seen anybody throw the ball like that. So after the scrimmage, I went up to Coach Heupel and I said, Coach, that was a heck of a throw by Joe Milton. He said, well, you should have seen 2 he made yesterday. So this arm talent is what Coach Heupel calls it, is very remarkable. And so he's really done big. But they've got, Brew McCoy is going to be a big-time receiver. Deontay Thornton, the guy they brought in from Oregon. Squirrel White. Ramel Keaton, all these guys have really put in the time, and as you said, get on the jugs gun. You see them out there all the time, almost daily. If they're not in class, they're out there catching, balls on the jugs, or Joe Milton's out there throwing. So, I just think they bought in. I really believe that Coach Heupel, when he came in from day one, brought in a confidence. I mean, Coach Heupel is a very confident coach. Yeah. That he thinks that he can draw up plays and he can out-scheme you and he can coach guys up. And so far he's been able to do that. But that confidence that he brings to his skill set, I think, rubs off on the team. First game, September 2nd, Virginia in Nashville. Biggest question mark for Tennessee this year is? Probably the defense. Can the guys they brought in at linebacker and the defensive line, can they replace Byron Young? They got to have a pass rusher, so he's not bad. They've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of time in the secondary, but who wins those jobs and how does that mold together? Those are I think, the biggest questions defensively. I mean, Coach Heupel's offense is going to score, but can you get the other team off the field? And that's the big key. We have to win games, right? Tennessee has to win games to win the SEC East and to make it to the championship. But how do they do that? How do they make it that next step and go over Georgia this year? Well, I just think that you've got to go out. You can't turn the ball over. And one thing they have to do defensively, I believe, and I think most of the coaches will tell you, that they got to create more turnovers. They didn't create enough turnovers and put pressure on the other team's offense as much as they should have. And I think if they create more turnovers, more interceptions, force more fumbles, that's just going to make it easier on the offense. I don't think there are many schools out there that are looking forward to playing Josh Heupel's offense. I don't think even the Alabamas and the Georgias and the Floridas, they're not looking forward to playing the offense. But can Tennessee avoid a South Carolina game like they had last year? That's one of your defense has got to be solid the whole year because they're going to score points. We know that. I've got 2 final questions for you. This one's not. He did come prepared, didn't he?
Absolutely. Well, at least one of us did. Yeah.
Just 2 more questions.
That's
and
fine.
This isn't about Tennessee.
Hey, the more we can keep Heartline off the air, the better it is for everybody.
That's what I've been trying to do. This is about the entire NCAA.
Right.
College realignment. What does it mean for Tennessee? What does it mean for the SEC? And what are your thoughts about the SEC adding more teams to it? Good or bad for the NCAA?
I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad yet. Nobody knows if it's good or bad yet. But it's what's going on. You're not going to stop it. Yeah. It's like a railroad locomotive going down a track downhill. You can't really stop it. I would be shocked if it was the end of expansion, but don't tell me who they're going to. If you can tell me what happens to the ACC, because you got some teams over there that I'm sure would love to join the SEC. Florida State, for one, Clemson, Virginia Tech. There are a lot of schools that would like to join the SEC. I just don't know where all the money is going to come from. You talk about ESPN hemorrhaging money right now. But so are they going to be willing to dish up another $60 million to bring 2 more teams into this league from the rights fees they're already paying? I don't know. That's my biggest question. But, I was thinking, everybody's talking about all this expansion and how it's changing the face of college football. Back in 1906, they were going to get rid of football, and Theodore Roosevelt forced them to put the forward pass in. When they started giving away athletic scholarships in the 50s, everybody thought, this is the end of college football because it's the end of amateurism and all that stuff. Then Title IX, well, they're going to take all that money away from football and help the women's sports. That's going to kill football. Nothing seems to kill football. I mean, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so whatever the new curveballs or the hurdles that people are throwing at college football, they're going to adapt, and they're going to make changes. I mean, the SEC and the Big Ten aren't going anywhere. Now, what happens to these other leagues, that's what we're going to find out. But the SEC and the Big Ten, One of the reasons that they're so strong is because when you start talking about the contracts and the media rights, well, the SEC and the Big Ten have most of the major media markets, and that's a big thing.
Final question that I have, and it's a personal question, okay?
Oh, here we go.
So a lot of people who listen to
whatever Heartline said, I did not do it.
No, listen, no.
I had nothing to do with that.
And this is not from his time on Jerry Springer. Is that right?
It is
Okay.
not. No, this is his time from being the voice of the Vol.
Oh, here we go.
Right.
Probably one of the biggest calls, and there's been many calls that you've had, but one of the biggest calls that you have probably had in the past 20 years, I think it is. 25 years as the voice of the Vols.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
That's unbelievable.
Was the knuckleball call.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite call that you've ever had? Or if not, what is the most favorite call that you've ever had?
You know, I don't know. That was, you remember games. I remember when Casey Clausen hit Jason Witten in the 6th overtime to win. I remember, that call. I remember the call down to the Orange Bowl when we beat Miami. You remember the games more than you remember the calls. The calls, you just hope to not mess them up. I mean, you hope to get them right because, that Alabama call is going to live on for 20 years. Yeah. And so you need to make sure you don't, get it right. And so
there's one call that you have that I wish didn't live on for 20 years, but it's okay. It was the Georgia in the end zone last second.
Remember, he's a dog
Georgia.
fan.
So
that
was another Juwan Jennings. Yeah, that was another good. That was another good call. Yeah. Tim Priest about fell out of the booth on that call. So, but that was. But that game was one of the most unbelievable games because Georgia. People forget Georgia threw a Hail Mary. Mm-hmm. And the whole, you thought the whole bubble had burst. And how do you recover from a Hail Mary? Well, how you recover, you come back and throw your own and beat them. So, yeah, that was special. I've just been so blessed. I came here as a walk-on fullback in 1972, didn't know anybody in the state of Tennessee, didn't know a single player on the team. And here I am these years later, and look where I am. I'm so blessed that things have happened, and things have kind of come my way, and I've had this opportunity because when I came here in '72, I had no vision of such things happening to me. So I'm very thankful for the people along the way that have helped me, and you don't do it on your own. You got a lot of help.
Do you practice that? And I want to ask if you practice those type of big calls. You have the kids that are out there and they're hitting the Grand Slam and the World Series. As a radio broadcaster, as the voice of the Vols, do you go back and listen to some of the big calls that you've had? Do you go back and listen to the games?
Yeah. Well, the problem you get when you do that, and I do it. I mean, I do go back and listen to games and critique myself. But the problem is when you do that, you just beat yourself up so badly because you think, gosh, I wish I would have said that, or I could have done that. How could I have made that call better? But that's how you try and get better. But, you've got to go back. And I'll tell you, this is really, I learned a lesson when I first started because I was doing Lady Vol basketball back in the late 70s because nobody else wanted to do it. And I was getting paid $15 a game. And if we had a road game, I had to pay my own gas.
That's what we still do here.
So anyway, here I am. I'm 1 year out of college, and I'm doing SEC basketball. I never viewed it as women's basketball, but I viewed it as basketball, SEC basketball. And so we were doing a doubleheader at Stokely, and the Lady Vols played the first game, and the men played the second. And so we're on the old broadcast ramp up there at Stokely. And so I get done with the Lady Vol game, and the basketball team's down below getting ready to warm up, and John Ward hadn't gone on the air yet. So I took my tape over to him, and I said, Mr. Ward, if you would, I'd like to see if I've recorded part of the game I just did. I'd like to see if you would critique it for me and, tell me maybe how I can get better. And John, of course, I'd love to do that. And he takes the tape, puts it in his briefcase. I don't hear from him for like 2 weeks. And so we have another doubleheader game 2 weeks later. And so I'm down there at the very end of the crow's nest there, and John's over on the other side. So I get done with the Lady Vol game, and I walk over, and I said, Mr. Ward, did you have a chance to listen to my tape? He goes, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I critiqued it. I said, well, great. And he goes over and gets in his orange briefcase, and he opens it up, gets the tape out, hands it back to me, looks at me and says, try advertising, and turned and walked away. And I got the message pretty clear that you need to get better, and you need to get better right now. And That's probably, it was very simple and very understated, but very powerful, that you don't just mail it in. You better get better, and you got to work at this, and it takes a lot of work.
That's what we love about Mixed TV, is that we get to watch the morning show every single morning, and then we get to critique Steve on everything that he does throughout the day. But, hey, Mr. Kesling, thank you so much. Honor to interview you.
Thank you.
Wish you guys all the best this year, except for against Georgia. And,
it's in November this year.
Balls.
People,
it is.
I don't think it's settled in for people. It's going to be
late.
It's going to be a lot of there'll be a lot of things riding on the line in that game. But
well, Josh, thank you, buddy. And I also want to introduce someone here. He's newer to the community. Jarrett Millsaps is the CEO of Tennova Healthcare Cleveland. Did they see your pants yet?
I don't know if they panned to the pants yet, but in honor of you,
I appreciate that,
Bob. We had to do the orange pants.
That's great. That's great.
Jarrett, anything you have for Bob?
No, just really appreciation, right? I'm a University of Tennessee graduate, long time growing up with John Ward, growing up with Bobby Denton, growing up, I was there when they stopped Bo Jackson in Knoxville. And so an appreciation for what you do and what you bring. I guess my question would be, you've been there for almost 25 years now.
Yeah.
How do you rate kind of the vibe inside the building right now, right? You've seen a lot of transition, and not just in football, but across the athletic department as a whole with Danny White and the rest of them. How do you grade us out?
I mentioned the confidence factor of Josh Heupel. But Danny White also has a lot of confidence in his ability to, and what he's done with all these coaches, if you notice, he's extended a lot of their contracts. So he's saying, listen, you're here for the long haul in most of the sports. And he has also told them, what do you need? And we'll get it for you. And so as a coach, you don't have any excuses for not being successful. So he's not taking excuses. Well, don't tell me you don't have that, because you've got this, and you've got your facilities are as good or better than anybody in the country. So go with. But so that whole attitude is kind of rubbed off on everybody. And I think that when you give the people that work for you a chance to be successful, a pretty good chance your whole operation is going to be successful. And that's kind of the way Danny's
Do you see
done it.
that kind of having an influence in the broader university culture with Chancellor Plummer?
I think so. I think they'll tell you that when the football team and the basketball teams are doing well, they get a lot more applications and a lot more people wanting to come to school. Because, as Ed Bowling always used to say, the former president, athletics is the front porch of the university. Mm-hmm. People see the athletics, a lot of times before they see how the engineering school is, and all those type things, and it is, and the reputation and the atmosphere that you build off your athletic teams goes a long way to getting students and just the whole feeling on campus. And I know this, my minister tells me this, that when Tennessee wins, the offering on Sunday is a lot better.
Your minister?
I think it's the whole community who kind of benefits off Tennessee.
That's great.
Jimmy Logan.
Bob, you honored me, allowing me to come with you in Birmingham because my children wound up there. Never send your children away from Tennessee to school because they fall in love with Alabama boys.
Don't do that.
Come on. That's just terrible. But anyway, what a great time. Vol Nation is not just located in Tennessee. People come from Alabama and across the country to go to school academically and athletically. And Vol Nation's around this whole United States. Big group in Atlanta, as you know, and in Birmingham. And certainly I think I may have contributed to the loss to Alabama that year. But I can tell you something. That Alabama game changed Vol Nation dramatically. A spirit came back in Alabama. I think you're going to see a big crowd. I don't know if we're going to have the meeting of the Birmingham Big Orange Club, but I want you to know that people in Alabama have raised significant questions about Coach Saban. And
we don't have enough time to get into all those, do we?
I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to tell you that they say Saban's gone if he loses to Tennessee, and they say that they're going to stomp us.
He just bought a $35 million beach house in Jupiter, Florida, so I think things are okay.
I think you're right that the Alabama game last year, it was one of the most remarkable build-ups to any game because that's all they talked about all week. And people went into that game thinking and believing that Tennessee was going to win. And that hadn't happened in a couple decades. Yeah. But, you had the hope. Well, if we do this and do that. But the people going into this year's game thought, well, yeah, we're going to beat them. We're better with them here. We're better here. And it was such a great game because it wasn't the fact that Alabama lost the game. Tennessee just beat them. I mean, Bryce Young couldn't have played any better at quarterback for Alabama, and Hendon Hooker was tremendous. And Steve, I think I've told this story on the air when you called me, maybe after the game, but my daughter and her husband brought our 2 grandkids to the game. They're 9 and 7. So everybody was standing up the whole game. So they were having a hard time seeing. And they're looking around people and getting up on bleachers and trying to see what they could from the game because everybody's going crazy. So now it comes out for Chase McGrath to kick the game-winning field goal, and somehow it gets over the crossbar. I still think the football gods were looking at it because I don't know how that kick got over the crossbar, spinning sideways and everything else. So everybody's going crazy, and my daughter looks around for our 7-year-old grandson, George, and he is gone. Don't know where he is. And she's panicking, and she's looking around, doesn't know whether he's climbing the light towers or where he is, doesn't know where he is. And she's kind of panicking a little bit, and she looks across the aisle, and about 4 seats down, there's this guy, and he's got George on his shoulders, and they're jumping up and down, high-fiving each other. And I said, Allison, did you know the guy? She said, I'd never seen the guy in my life. But he saw little George there trying to see the game, and he picked him up and said, you're going to remember this the rest of your life, and put him up on his shoulders so he could see the game. Wow. And there were stories like that all over.
You may have seen it, but like at the Florida game, I took our daughter to the Florida game too, and it was interesting once we got over that hump and we're able to close that out as people are walking out of Neyland Stadium, they're saying it is possible now.
Sure.
It is possible.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the confidence from Coach Heupel.
Yeah. One last statement.
Yeah.
And this is a statement and not a question. Most of the folks I listen to Tennessee football games, even where they're on television, they listen to the voice of the Volunteers.
I'm glad that happens.
And that happens because you tell us more than we actually sometimes see.
Well,
we think it.
Well, I credit Tim Priest, who was my longtime partner, now Pat Ryan, who'll be with me. They know a lot of football, and so I rely on those guys to kind of tell us what's going on. And the thing that we're really proud of, too, and this is something maybe we don't even toot our own horn much about, but, John Ward and Bill Anderson were UT grads, and myself and Pat and Tim Priest before that were UT grads. So now for over 50 years, going on 60 years, the guys that have called Tennessee football are all Tennessee grads. There aren't many networks that can say that because their announcers are invested in the program and really want to see it succeed. We kind of say that it's the 75th year of the Vol Network too, wow, which was started by Lindsey Nelson.
Well, and I was going to mention your friendship with Lindsey.
Oh, yeah.
Over the years. I mean, unbelievable.
Well, Lindsey, people forget, he was from Columbia, Tennessee. And he came to Knoxville to go to school. Then, of course, went off to the war. And then he was the press, I guess, with the first SID. He worked for General Neyland. And then he goes into General Neyland and says, I think I've got a way to get our radio broadcasts across the state. And back then, there was no satellite or anything, so it was really complicated to do radio and telephone hookups and rebroadcast. And so he goes out there and lays this big spreadsheet in front of Coach Neyland, how they're going to do it. And Coach Neyland just worried about winning football games. He didn't even know what Lindsey's talking about. And Lindsey goes, we're going to call it the University of Tennessee Volunteer Football Sports Network. And the general just looks at him and said, Lindsey, just call it the Vol Network. Keep it simple. And he said, yes, sir, General, the Vol Network. So it was the Vol Network because the General Neyland named it, and it's going to be the Vol Network forever. And while all these other networks that you see out there, this is brought to you by and presented by, we're the Vol Network, and that's what we are, and that's what we'll always be. So a lot of tradition.
We love it. We really appreciate the guys who've come in. Bob's going to stay with us a little while longer.
I am?
And,
okay.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm told. But we do need to get to Bridget. We've got some traffic issues out there, and also need to check our Simmons Bank celebration list. Bridget, let me go over to you first for traffic. What's happening?
Okay, this Don Ledford Cleveland Mixed Highway Patrol Report is brought to you by Don Ledford in Cleveland. They are your exclusive home of Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, located on North North Lee Highway and anytime at donledford.com. We've had a couple of accidents working this morning on Keith Street. We have had some rain in the area, so drive safely out there. Those two accidents, we understand, have been cleaned up and are now out of the way. If you see a traffic problem, give us a call. The volunteer Ridipest mix line is 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Sell with Darren text line. That's Darren Miller, eXp Realty.
All right, Bridget, let's get a check of our Simmons Bank celebration list. I know we got a bunch of new celebrations coming in.
That's right. Adam Lewis is celebrating a birthday tomorrow. He is the executive assistant to Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis. Also, Coach Amy McGowan is having a birthday tomorrow, the head volleyball coach at Cleveland High School. Victor Walker is celebrating on Sunday. Judge Andrew Morgan is having a birthday tomorrow. Carla Watson is celebrating today at Baines Business Machines. Tammy Stubblefield is having a birthday today. Debbie Williams is celebrating tomorrow. Deborah Henry is having a birthday today, an amazing mom and grandma, according to her family. Missy Welch is having a birthday tomorrow from her husband, Brian. She is a 5th grade teacher at Michigan Avenue. Jeff and April Salyer, they are celebrating their 23rd wedding anniversary tomorrow. Easton Broom is 2 years old today. That is from his grandparents. Dr. James Jones is celebrating today, the Polk County Director of Schools. Cheryl White is having a birthday tomorrow. Matt and Michelle Bentley, they're celebrating their wedding anniversary today. Michelle gave us a shout out, said she loves listening every morning. So happy anniversary to them. And then Brent and Brian Lee, they are twins, celebrating their birthdays on Sunday. Their sister-in-law, Shara, says they are the loudest twins she's ever known. Calling your birthdays and wedding anniversaries to us, the volunteer Ridipest mix line 614-6499. You can text us at that same number on the Sell with Darren text line, Darren Miller, eXp Realty. Go to our website, mymix1041.com, or download our free Mix 1041 app.
All right, don't forget all of your volunteer traditions gear, also all kinds of UT gear now at the Town Squire. Did you know the Town Squire has...
Attention shoppers, learn more about our Picky Promise.
This produce looks amazing, and it smells so fresh. Food City is as picky about produce as I am, and that's hard to do. But they make it look easy with their Picky Promise. If it's ever not fresh, they'll replace it.
That's cool. And I thought their helpful certified butchers were the coolest thing about this place.
It's all here.
Nobody does food like Food City.
At some point in your life, you may be faced with a legal challenge, whether it be a personal injury, a business dispute, or family matter. Our goal is to overcome your legal obstacles and get your life back on track.
If you or a loved one have been injured or have legal issues confronting you and your family, talk with someone on our team. We will investigate your problem to determine the facts and the law. Working together, we can develop a plan to obtain the result you deserve.
My dad says our new Linux system saves energy.
Well, saving energy means saving money.
A lot of money?
Yep.
Time for a raise in my allowance.
Savings year after year.
A big raise.
Call today for perfect air you can feel in your home and savings you can feel in your wallet.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Dale's Heating and Air today.
Prescription drugs can be expensive, but there's a solution. Direct Primary Care Associates Pharmacy Benefits can save you money on your prescription drugs. With access to free generics, discounted brand name medication prices, and a team of healthcare providers who work with you to find the most affordable options, you can rest easy knowing you're getting the best deal. Say goodbye to the stress and financial burden of expensive healthcare and medication costs. Visit our website to learn more about how Direct Primary Care Associates Pharmacy Benefits can save you money on your prescription drugs. Direct Primary Care Associates, affordable healthcare for all.
Why rain on country Best Buy medals?
For 20 years, Best Buy Metals has provided permanent steel roofing. Additionally, we've expanded to manufacture metal siding, including steel, board and batten, and traditional lap siding. We also offer custom pole barns, from a simple roof-only structure to a fully enclosed building. Stop by one of our 7 showrooms today or visit us online 24/7 at bestbuymetalroof.com.
The summer sales event is on at Cleveland Ford, and the car business is back. Inventory's back, discounts are back, and interest rates are down. Cleveland Ford even has trade-in assistance cash available, so hurry to Cleveland Ford today, because now is the time to buy.
Serenity Funeral Homes. Convenient, caring, affordable. Please.
Oh, I think it's really important. I think this whole part of the state, when you're going down 75 all the way to Chattanooga, it's really important. I mean, there's a good football played down here, so you know that's important. Good sports down here, and a lot of great UT alumni live in. Is it alumni or alumni?
Well, I'd say alumni. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, well, some people always call it alumni, so I'm not sure.
Well,
but
some of your highbrow friends probably.
But anyway, this is really important. So it's, and of course, a lot of people from here come to all the games. It's not that far, and so there are a lot of season ticket holders down here. So it's a big part of the state, and but it's really interesting. And this time during the year, I go around across the state and visit different radio stations, and we go out to have lunch with people. And it's amazing just the passion for Tennessee sports, and it never wanes. I mean, people get frustrated when you don't win, and people get frustrated because, well, he's the coach, and all. We've lived through all that stuff. But like Coach Dickey always used to tell us, pride and tradition never graduates. If you have pride and tradition, it's always going to be there. Now, it might go up and down a little bit, but it's always going to be there. And I think the Alabama game last year bubbled it all back up to the surface. And so I've never seen the state, the people I've talked to this summer, more excited and more thrilled about not only that Tennessee's winning, but how they're winning and how they're doing it. And the coaches, from Coach Barnes and Coach Harper and Karen Weekly and down the list, how they just represent the university. I think people are really proud, and I think that Randy Boyd's done a great job as the president, and Donde Plowman is the chancellor, and they're just stand-up, front, good people that are doing a good job.
We're joined by Bob Kesling, and I tell you, just a couple of weeks ago, we had the coach, Coach Josh Heupel.
Yes, I heard that your interview went very well with him. You stood your own pretty good.
Well, yeah, I text you and ask you what to ask. And now, I will say, we both made fun of you.
Of course.
And then, no, he said he just thinks well of you. But, look, let me tell you something. And you've done this for so long, and I've done this a little while. You really can tell about people off the air. I mean, this is easy to blow up. Let me tell you, that Josh Heupel was such a kind person, so nice. He came down for the Bradley Youth Football League event, and they raised a bunch of money. It's a great, great league that Bradley does and those guys do. I saw a lot that night, another side of him. And you talk about Randy Boyd and Chancellor Plowman and the stand-up good people. Well, I tell you, we've got a good person who's a coach.
I think so, too. He's grounded. Sometimes these SEC jobs or any major college job, they get away from guys because of the fact there's so much to do. There are so many people pulling at you from different directions. There's so many things that if you don't stay focused and keep your staff focused, things fall through the cracks. And that has happened before at Tennessee. And I think that you see that when Josh Heupel came in, his experience as a head coach, the fact his dad is a coach, he knew how to manage time, and he knew how important time is to a coach. If you start wasting time on something that's not important, then you're taken away from something else that is important. And Coach Heupel, from day one, I think, has had a great appreciation of what it takes to be successful, and he does not spend time on stuff that is not necessary. So if you have a meeting with him, you better be ready to go, and because he doesn't want to waste time because he's on to something else. So, and I don't respect him for that. And Steve, the other thing, in our business, a lot of times when you get with people, it's hurry up and wait. They'll say, "Well, be there at 9:15," and then suddenly it's 9:45, and you know how that goes. Not with Josh Heupel. He tells you 9:15, and he's there at 9:15, and he expects you to be prepared because he's prepared. So it's really been kind of fun to watch how he is manage this thing, and this job was not too big for him. I mean, I think that was, Steve, you remember, that was the biggest thing. Well, how is he going to handle it? He's from Central Florida. How is he going to do this Tennessee deal? Mm-hmm. Well, he came in from day one, and the job was not too big for him, and that's quite a compliment to him for being prepared And and his dad, and you talked to him about his dad when he was here. His dad is really important to him, and his dad had taught him, one, this is how you treat people, this is how you treat your players, and this is how you manage time. And if you let any of those things fall, you're not going to be successful.
Bob, final question from me, and that is, you said it.
You never have a final question.
Well, we can sit it on noon if you want. I don't care. But speaking of time, you got stuff to do. 75 years, you've just said it, of the Vol Network. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you mentioned how it started, and that was fascinating. But just some impressions. 75 years of the Vol Network, and then what's to come and what's happening this year.
Well, the thing about the Vol Network is that brand is so powerful. And, you're out selling broadcasts and selling the Vol Network, and you don't have to explain to people what the Vol Network is. As soon as you come in and say, this is the Vol Network, oh, well, And that's a great tribute to Lindsey Nelson, who got it started. And then there was a guy named Alan Stout. Then when Lindsey left, Alan Stout came in for 1 or 2 years. We haven't been able to get a lot of information on Alan, but then he went up to Cincinnati, he went up to Philadelphia, and then George Mooney, who had a lot of radio stations across the state, and basically out of Memphis, and then he came in and did the games for 16 years, and then John and Bill did them for 31, and now we've been doing them for 25, and so there haven't been that many announcers down through the years. I mean, it's been a job that it's kind of a destination point for a lot of people, and it means something. And we said before, when Tim and I or Bert or Pat Ryan, it means something to us when we do these games because we want to see Tennessee win, but it's important because it's our school. So that I think that makes it kind of special. Things are changing in this business, as you know, daily. You don't know how people are going to get the games. You don't know what devices they're going to be on or what the heck is going to be happening going forward. But the one thing we do know, that people have a great passion for Tennessee, and they're going to find the games, and they're going to listen to them, and they're going to watch them and go to them. And that's one great thing about it, that there's such a great passion across the state for Tennessee sports and Tennessee football in particular.
In my opinion, Tennessee is the biggest brand in the state still today, and the Vol Network has chronicled that for 75 years. What does it mean to you, like when Jimmy said, and I've told you before, it's what I do, turn the television down, listen to you guys. Of course, I listen to make fun of you, and when I call in, you always act like you don't know me. That's fine.
Well, you're chronicling everything.
Yeah, I'm sitting there, writing notes. What does that mean to you, though? People say that.
That's one of the biggest compliments you get, is that when you come up and, sometimes you get, and Lindsey Nelson told me this. Lindsey, when he retired from doing the New York Mets and the San Francisco Giants and all his Notre Dame stuff, he came back to Knoxville, and he lived up on Cherokee Bluff, right above campus. And he said he'd get up every morning and he'd get his newspaper, get a glass of orange juice, and he'd go out in the back porch. He'd salute the general, and then he'd sit down and read his newspaper in the morning. But he used to come to Channel 10, where I was working at that time, and he would do these things called Lindsey at Large. And they were 3-minute deals. And if people remember Andy Rooney, who used to do the stuff on 60 Minutes, those little 3-minute vignettes, well, that's what Lindsey would do. And they were about everything except sports. Why is Gay Street named Gay Street? How'd they get the pipe organ at the Tennessee Theater? How was the Civic Coliseum? All this kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. Just fascinating. Yes. And they were 3 minutes in length. He never had a script. You could set your clock that would be 3 minutes in length when he was done. And he would just and it was a one-take deal. They'd go out on Gay Street, and he'd walk up down Gay Street, and he would do his deal, and then, okay, Lindsey, see you later. He'd be gone. But can you imagine, as a young broadcaster, I walk into my office there at Channel 10, and there's Lindsey Nelson sitting in there reading the newspaper, and you're going, and so we would talk all the time, and we never talked about sports. We talked about being a pro and being a professional, and how do you approach this business. He never gave me any kind of thoughts about how you do play-by-play. It's about how you prepare to do it and how you present yourself, and the fact that you're representing, when you go out at that time I was at Channel 10, he said, you've got 70% of the people in Knoxville watching you. you better be truthful and you better be professional, and that really rung true. But he also told me, he said, of course, he used to with those god-awful sport coats. I mean, they were hideous.
A lot of people remember that.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Oh, yeah.
And he always used to say, if you have no talent, dress funny. And he had closet after closet full of these old sport coats. And so one time I went up to his house and did a story with him about the sport coats. And, I mean, I couldn't believe he had hundreds of them just in these different closets all in his house. And he pulled out this one. It was green, and it had paisleys on it, and it was just hideous. And I said, Lindsay, and everyone had a story. I said, what's the story on that one? He said, well, I was walking through the garment district in Manhattan, and I came up on this drapery store, and I saw this piece of material in the window, and I went into the proprietor, and I said, could you make this into a sport coat? And his response was, yes, but why? Why in the world would you want to do that? And he did. He made it into a sport coat, and he said he could wear it to the Mets game in the afternoon and put a bow tie on and wear it to the Met at night. So he would do that. But he also told me, he said, when you're starting out, don't worry about the money. He said, when you get good enough, they'll throw it at you. And he said, don't take a job. Well, take a job for passion. And not necessarily your passion, but the passion that are listening. Steve, if you came in every morning and you're doing this and you get no response and you don't know if anybody's listening.
That's about right.
It's no fun.
That's about right. Now you're speaking my language.
No, I walk in this place today and the whole place is full of football players and sponsors and everything. I mean, so you're hitting a lot of people here, a lot of the right chords. But if you do this, let's say you send the invitation out to all the football teams and nobody shows up. Well, that's no fun. And that's what Lindsay was saying. Take a job where there's passion, and not necessarily your passion, but the passion of the folks that are listening. And that's awfully true. He told me a lot of things just sitting there and passing conversations that really ring true today. So I've been, again, I've been blessed to have great mentors like John Ward and Lindsay. I mean, I got John Ward and Lindsay Nelson. They doesn't get much better than that.
That ain't bad.
And Bobby Denton. Of course, I work for Bobby Denton. Yeah. Well, this, and I know I'm going on too long.
You're fine.
Here. No, but I look back, and you have these crossroads in your career, and you're hoping you're taking the right path. You're not sure. And so when I was in school at Tennessee, I talked myself into a summer job with the Knoxville Sox baseball team, which is now Tennessee Smokies. And so nobody was going to the games, and I was making $100 a week, working about 80 hours a week. But I loved it. I was in school and worked for the baseball team and hanging around. But a bunch of the guys on those Knoxville teams went on to play in the big leagues, too. And it was so much fun to see those guys. Yeah. So anyway, I thought, if we get more people here, maybe I'll get a raise. Maybe, I'm already getting all the hot dogs I could stand to eat, but maybe I'll get more money. So I started writing up little 30-second voicers. And I'd call those voicers into the any radio station. Back then, everybody had 24-hour DJs.
Yep.
So all the radio stations that would answer the phone in the Knoxville area, I'd call these little reports in, about what happened in the game. And WIVK was one of the stations that ran the reports. And so I got a call out of the blue one day from their sports director, Paul Lyle, and he said, we're looking for a part-time sports guy. We run your reports. Would you be interested in working here? I said, sure. So I was working at WIVK. I was going to school full-time and working for the Knoxville Sox baseball team.
Wow.
Loving it. I mean, just having a great time. So, but now you graduate, and now you got to find a job. And I thought, I'm not making any money at any of this stuff. The WIVK is not paying me hardly anything. And so I've decided I'm going to Nashville, and I'm going to get a baseball job. The baseball meetings are in Nashville, and that's what I was going to do. I was going to go there, and I was going to be the next general manager of the Chicago White Sox, is what I thought. And so I'm heading out to, I just graduated from UT, and I'm heading out, going to Nashville. And Bobby Denton, who was the general manager and afternoon DJ and the longtime voice of Neyland Stadium, was sitting there on the little landing during a news break, smoking a cigar, and said, hey, hotshot, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Nashville. What for? I said, I'm going to get a baseball job. I want to be in baseball. Well, he said, we just bought WKDA over there, and Paul Lyle, the sports director here, is going over there to be the sports director. Why don't you stay here and be our sports director? Okay. That's how I got into radio.
Really?
Yeah. If Bobby Dent had not been up there smoking a cigar during a news break, I would have gone to Nashville and tried to get a baseball job someplace.
Unbelievable.
So, isn't it amazing how things happen?
There are moments, in everybody's life that one way or the other.
You hope you make take the right career path. But and I'll back it up one more time. So even before that, I was going into my senior year of college, and Channel 18 up in Lexington was starting a weekend sportscast. And I knew the guy that was there. You know, back then you used to trade voicers with all these different stations, and I'd do a report on the UK network, and this guy named John Henderson would do reports. And so you got to know different guys around. So John called me and said, we're starting a weekend sportscast, a newscast. We want to know if you want to be the weekend sports anchor up here. Oh, great. That'd be unbelievable. Sure. Okay, let me come up there. So I go up there, and they talk to me about it, and they're going to start, up in September or something like that, and start doing this. So I have time to, kind of ramp up and get used to learn what the heck's going on in television. And so I said, well, I'll be willing to do that. So I drive back to Knoxville, tell my then girlfriend, now my wife, Tammy, I said, listen, here's the deal. I'm going to drop out of UT. I'm going to go to Lexington. I'm going to take this weekend job. Said, we'll both go up there, and we'll both finish up our college career at Kentucky. And then I'll start working at the TV station, and my career will be off and going, and we can get married, and it'll be great. And she kind of said, well, yeah, that sounds okay, but you need to go talk to John Ward. I said, well, John Ward will think this is a great idea. Well, but you need to go get his approval and see what he thinks about this. I said, okay. So I call him, and that Sunday, I was up in Lexington on Friday, and so that Saturday afternoon I called him when I got back, and I said, can we come over and talk to you tomorrow about, I've got this job opportunity. He said, okay, sure. So we go over to his house there at the first fairway of Fox Den, and we get downstairs, and he's got his notepad, and I start, John got his law degree but never practiced law. People don't really realize that, but he did that because he said it helped him organize things and be, more precise. But he never practiced law. It was amazing. But that tells you how smart the guy was. And so anyway, he's sitting there. He's got his legal pad, just like any lawyer, and he's writing down all the things I'm telling him. And I'm saying, so what do you think, John? This is great, isn't it? And he looked at me and he said, are you out of your mind? That would be the biggest mistake of your life. He said, what you will do, you will go up there and you won't finish school. You won't get your degree. You'll regret that the rest of your life, that you didn't finish up your degree because you were that close. Plus the fact that if you're any good, you'll be able to find a job when you graduate from Tennessee. Tammy doesn't want to drop out of Tennessee to go up to Kentucky. You guys need to enjoy your senior year of college. Should be the best year of your life. And he said, and besides that, if you got a chance to get a degree from the University of Tennessee, why in the heck would you want one from Kentucky? And that sealed the deal. That sealed it.
John Ward.
But if Tammy hadn't told me to go talk to John, I would have taken the job in Lexington. Yep. And who knows what would have happened. So it's amazing how things just work out, and you make these decisions, and you try and make a smart decision. And luckily, I've been able to make some good decisions and been in a good place.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing you and Pat Ryan this year, and the entire Vol Network. Just some wonderful people. Just some great people. I love Glenn Thaxton, and just on and on. The guy John Wilkerson, I've gotten to know him a little bit. Yeah. So just on and on. They're just great people.
Yep.
And
we're fortunate.
And really, we all are, because the Vol Network, from what I've read, has the most stations of anybody in the nation.
Yep.
Has hundreds of thousands of people listening, especially every Saturday during football. So anyway, it's just a great, like you said, pride and tradition.
Pride and tradition. And the Power T and the Vol Network brand is as strong as you can get in college athletics.
It is.
It's great.
Bob, I really...
And also WCLE is a strong brand here.
Hey, tell him to throw us in there when you're naming stations instead of, at midnight or, we're going to think, what is it again? So, right. No. But Bob,
we'll throw you some love.
Throw me a little love. Well, I really appreciate you coming down.
Steve, always good to see you, man. I appreciate
and everybody
you
looks forward to this.
And again... Yeah. Thank you for what you do for high school football. I mean, it's so important to people, and people don't realize how much of an impact high school football has on young people.
Absolutely.
Not only the football players, but the band and the cheerleaders and everything. And it's such a spectacle on Friday night, such a fiber of all these communities. And, you know, I still have great memories of my days playing high school football, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So thanks for what you guys do for promoting it, because it's a labor of love, I know, for you guys.
That's why we love to have you on this morning when we really, this is our kickoff high school football regular season a week from tonight. So,
but I know the guys cleaned out all the food out there. You had lots. When I walked in, there was just boxes of food everywhere. When these football players get in here, it's gone.
It's all gone.
All gone.
Bob, thanks
all right,
so
Steve,
much.
I'll thank you.
We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you very soon. All right, we're going to take a news break right here. Mix 104.1, and we're going to sign off of MixTV.tv at this point. But for our radio audience, we'll stand by.
Broadcasting from the Kia